Hey, welcome back, everyone. It is your host, but not with the most, but likes toast the most. What if? So, we're back. Um, yeah, we're a day late. I'll talk about that in a moment. If you've seen Discord, then I guess you kind of know why I couldn't do yesterday. But we're here today on this Friday evening. We're going to kick some ass, or at least we hope we'll be able to. Hello AJW, hello Detroit, hello Sprinter. So, yeah. So, I'm not quite sure what to expect with New Hampshire this time. I think Pocono, I think I got a good idea. But New Hampshire, I'm not really positive, so I'm looking forward to it. And I'm kind of going into this cold. I haven't practiced. I've just been wiped out lately. So I'm just, yeah. So, point situation, looking pretty good. Tony Stewart's still second. Dale Jr. is 29 points back from Stewart. We got Kurt in 8th. And Kenseth in 10th after his miracle Daytona win that I still can't comprehend how he won. So, that's our top 10. And as far as the team stuff, Shop Edition, one more race on the engine balancer, and then we'll get some better engine efficiency for the fuel mileage stuff, which I don't know if that's going to play a factor anymore, but better safe than sorry. Everything else is looking good. New England 300 NBC is brought to you by Affleck. Ask about it at work. Cue the duck. New Hampshire was the one track I could never get right except this. Yeah. I'm kind of the same way except the fact that I never like racing here, but for whatever reason I run well here. And it doesn't make any sense. This is the one track that baffles me in how I work at this track. I don't... But yeah. Let's see, make sure everything... Yeah, okay, mic's still on. Okay. So, we got 2 races, and I know Pocono's going to probably take a little bit just because I know that one's going to be... I don't know, but... Yeah. So we're just going to jump straight into it. I'm going to do a couple practice laps for this one. But, obviously, I don't know if I should show it yet, but I'll do it before we actually go into qualifying. But, go for this. We're going to bring our best tire grip stuff. Sets at 75. Engine. 66 is our best one there. Let's see. Body. And we'll go with this one here, 71. Alright. Car rating is 72. Not too bad, I think. So there we go. I'm here. Had to quickly run an errand. That's okay, Akbar. Thank you, North Star, for the kind words. I appreciate that. That's nice to hear. Hey, hello, Caleb Murphy. Thanks for subbing about a week ago. I appreciate that. That's pretty cool. Welcome to the club. I don't know what club, but our Magic Treehouse Club or something. I don't know. Hello, Spencer. Thank you for wishing me a happy Friday. I got stuff to talk about. We'll do that in the race if there's nothing going on, but I have to imagine there's going to be an instance where there's not much going on, but I'm going to keep you all in suspense. I'm going to dangle that carrot as the I don't know, plot element phrasing. It's like Chekhov's gun, but with a carrot. I don't know. Okay, Stewart's on pole, Mark 2nd. Hey, Kurt 7th. Okay, not bad. Sure, all this is good to go. The NASCAR Club Hub, yeah. Do some practice laps. Just get a feel for the track again, because I've not played this in a week. Trying hard to wrap up the World of Outlaws Sprint Car 1. Because once that's done, I'll have a lot more time to work on the the Xfinity Series video that I'm working on. I already the script is done, the recording's done. Now I just gotta edit, and it's a short video, so it's nice to work on something that's just an overall much smaller project. Because the Robin one was like they're like an hour long. This one's gonna be pretty short. I don't even think it's 10 minutes long. I always forget how different this game is compared to other ones. In a good way, just I have to get used to it. I don't know if my lap times are good enough. But I mean, it feels pretty good. Don't really got too much of an issue with it. I'm not redlining too badly, if at all. Am I redlining at all at any point? Like, almost, but I think we should be fine. It's hard to gauge practice speeds because they're always different than, like, qualifying and race pace, so I'm not sure how it is. Hey, hello.
Hey, what if?
Hey. Hello, broskies. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the 5, man. I appreciate that. It's pretty freaking sweet. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by in the stream. I usually don't stream on Fridays, but this is kind of an exception because crazy stuff occurred throughout basically the whole day on Thursday. It was... I'm laughing about it now, but it's one of those things where it's like, I knew I was gonna laugh about it later, but in the moment I was just I hated it. But man, the car feels pretty good, pretty planted. I think we'll be fine. I think I got it figured out. Honestly, it's been yeah, it's just shocking. It's doing things I need it to. It's crazy how I can go into this after a week of not playing it, and then after like 6 laps, I'm like, alright, that was my fastest lap of the race. Terrell Labonte, okay, sure, yeah. But yeah, I think we got a good feel for the car. This race should have been a New Hampshire. Yeah, night race in New Hampshire would be pretty interesting. How's your dad since his surgery? It's such a mixed bag. It's some days he's fine, some days he's not. Now he's having back problems. His neck's bothering him too in his back. He actually got X-rays and stuff done, and I think this is an issue he's had since I was his age. So back in like '87, where there's a part in his back where it's basically like 2 bones rubbing up on each other. It's like it's a slipped disc basically, and there's no cartilage like in between the things, so like it's just bone rubbing on bone, something like that. So he had those steroid pills, but then once those wore off, he went back to being basically how it was before he took them. So it didn't help long term. So I think what they're gonna do now is get like an injection shot in his back that's supposed to help for like 3 to 6 months before he goes to the chiropractor. But one place is saying like he should do the chiropractor place for his back, other place isn't, so I don't know what they're gonna do. But yeah, it's a medical nightmare. Just try to explain all this, unless I literally bring Mom up here to explain everything in like exquisite detail. But I'm giving you like the abbreviated version. But it's just, I don't know. It's always something. I mean that in like not in a mean way. It's just something's always going on. I feel bad. We'll talk about my days when I raced in Core, because I got some pretty wild stories. Actually, that's a good talking point when we get to Pocono. Spencer, remind me about that when we get to Pocono. I'm leading, nothing's happening. It's an easy thing to talk about, because this will be basically a podcast at that point. But before we actually get into it, I should show you the image that Sprinter made. for New Hampshire. And honestly, this one, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it made me crack up really hard because of the references. It was really funny. So I'm going to bring it up here on screen. There it is. Look at that. I love it. I love it so much. Now, we'll go from right to left. So we got Dark Magician Girl. Magic Magician. I like that. That's good. Then Samurai Jack. Which, that face, I'm like, that's the episode where he got tricked into going into the monster's mouth. And then because he thought that something was going to happen. That's when he said the line. It's just... I love that. What's interesting is that must be like a redraw, because I remember in the other the original, his skin's a lot slightly whiter. Maybe I don't know. It's great masking job. 10 out of 10 on the masking job for him. Maybe these are like transparent images, but this is just so fucking. Then we got Mr. P. Oh shit, it's funny. I love it. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. Oh, that's great. That's just... Look, I mean, oh, I love Samurai Jack. Oh, we'll talk about that at some point. But yeah, thank you so much. That's an epic thumbs up. And there's my pre-stream thing that I always boot up. There's your fun fact of the day. But yeah, thank you so much. That's freaking sweet. Oh, that's funny. Magic snort. Stop! Oh, hey! Oh, that's it. That's the thing. Yeah, let's do qualifying. Now, from what I remember, when the announcer says this lap looks good, that means it's not. I played the game so much that, like, certain cues would tell me the announcer would say something that wouldn't... I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I just remember it wouldn't ever be, like, a good lap. But it's first, so... Alright. By only a 10th, so not too bad. Alright, well... Chat won't be ready. Oh my god. Ready for what I have in the Dover now. Oh my god. I think you showed me. Oh no. Yeah. It reminds me of the line of Fairly Odd Parents. When do we get to the ride? This is the ride. Oh man. Fairly Odd Parents. What a show that just kept on going when it should have died like 10 seasons earlier or something like that. That was a wild... Yeah, good times. I miss Teen Titans. Yeah. Yeah, OG Teen Titans was pretty cool. Yeah. Well, I don't know what more to look at. We're just going to jump into it. We're going to have Emran take it away, see if they come up with more lies or whatever they have to say. Because every week you don't know what you're going to get. So, we'll do that.
And Barney Hall welcoming you to Loudon, home of the New Hampshire International Speedway, for today's New England 300. What can we expect to see today, Barney?
Well, gear selection is everything here at New Hampshire. Very important to be able to accelerate out of these tight corners. The danger is picking too low of a gear and hitting the top end too early on the straights and blowing an engine.
The MBNA car will try for another top 5 finish in this one.
He can sure gain a lot of points if he continues his top 5 streak. Just goes to show it doesn't always take wins to move up in the points.
The Cheerios Dodge looks to turn his luck around in this race.
And trust me, it hasn't been for the lack of effort. Those guys have been working hard all season. Maybe they can right the ship with a good finish here.
Kevin Grubb hasn't run well in his qualifying attempts at the speedways
Oh,
this year.
no.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he likes having to pass all those cars on race day. I know I would prefer to start towards the front, and I'm sure he would too. But hey, he'll get there with some patience.
Alternate scheme! Good old-fashioned Winston Cup cars backing out in the field. Kurt Busch is in an alternate scheme. That's hot. I saw Bobby Labonte in one too, so I'm not used to that, to be honest. So that might be good. We'll see if that blocks anything, but I think that adjustment's gonna be perfect. Damn it! I should have. Okay. Okay. Here we go. This is awkward. Green flag. And we're green. Things are going all right. Be careful of turn 1. Let's see what this. I mean, the biggest thing I'm curious about is just the tire wear. I just don't know how that's going to be in the long run. But we did go into this with the best stuff we possibly could have. But the fact we're still hanging with Stewart after all this is pretty good. Oh my god, he's still going to lead the first lap. Wow. I don't even know what to say with that. I mean, he just... Even with our amazing, like, corner exit speed. 2001 take it. Yeah, that's it. I didn't get a chance... I didn't get a good look at it, so I wasn't positive on what his scheme was, but... Yeah. Are we going to lead this lap? No. In fact, he actually gained on me that lap. Damn, he just flat out got by me. Well, we're having a pretty good battle for lead, so I'm always up for that. 150 laps. I don't know when we have to pit. I'm hoping it's just, I'm not really sure how the pit stop cycle is going to be. It might be just, I don't know. The mile tracks are weird because it seems like you can only pit once. So I'm curious if that's going to be the case here. Whoa, that was close. Well, okay. I guess this race is going to be really tough then. I guess Stewart's just pulling away. I don't got anything for him. Yeah, I'm amazed. I mean, it's good. It's good. I mean, we got stuff to talk about finally. Well, normally. Hey, hello, Mr. H. Thanks for stopping by in the stream. Welcome. I'll try my best to talk as or look at chat while I'm racing, but this track's short, so I don't know how often I'll be here, but I guess a very easy way, and this is like a pro tip. Well, I guess for me, but I don't know where I'm getting at, but generally, to get my attention, like a super chat would, because I could hear it, read the thing off, and then that works. So that's like a fun fact. But yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, we are just getting our asses beat. And Tony Stewart's the point leader, so that's kind of concerning. We're going to lose some points to him today at this rate. Unless this car really comes to life in the latter half of the field run. Right now, I mean, we're not really doing what we need to do. I think Kurt's in the top 10 still, so that's pretty cool. I don't know, I mean, we have like amazing exit speed, but our entry speed is just awful compared to them. And I really can't push it in any deeper because the car is free. It handles pretty good. I really don't got any issues with it. Maybe lap traffic could play a factor and mess them up or something. I don't know. Yeah, Kurt's in the silver Sharpie car. That's why in the pre-race intro, I yelled alternate scheme because I knew that was different. Yeah, I wish Kurt would race in Michigan too. He got top 5 last year. He was right up there in the mix, sort of. Well, not totally, but he was up there. I mean, he won Michigan before in 2007. I don't know if he's had other wins. No, yeah, that in 2003. So I think he's won there twice. Yeah, we're just losing time. Like, it's insane how fast Stuart Harvick are compared to me. It looks like Mark's trying to get by me now. He's kind of had a good car now. That was an awful turn 3. Yeah, I don't know. Car's good. Running top 5, like, handles pretty good, but yeah, as far as being on Tony Stewart's level, we are still not there, which is kind of terrifying because this car is decently upgraded and it's got setups, so it's good to be challenged like this because it's just like there's tracks where just we obliterate the field and it just makes streaming this just like a chore. Mark almost hit the inside wall, so that was kind of funny. I know 2014 was Martinsville because I remember everything else in that year was bad except for Martinsville where he won at a track where I think his last one prior that was like 2003, so that was always funny to me. No, it's not, crew chief. I mean, clearly something is not ideal if I'm... I don't know. Yeah, we're just... Unless this car just all of a sudden comes to life in the second half of the run, I don't have any hope for this right now. I guess all we can do now is just try to get a top 10, try not to lose too many points to Stewart, even though we're going to probably lose a lot because he's going to get max points. Kurt's up in the top 10, so that's cool. I'm always up for that. He's 8th in points, so I like him to keep his top 10 point finish so we can go to the banquet. That was like a thing back in the day. Well, it still is now, but it's just... And maybe it had more weight because it was just over the course of the season and there was no playoff thing to really kind of jiggle it up. I mean, hey, we're trying to get 5th back or 4th. I wonder if lap traffic would even cause them any problem because I don't know. Hello, Gordon. Well, that's what happens when you try to block like that and you almost wreck yourself. 4-time champion almost became a turn 4. Well, no, not really. I don't know where that joke was going. Just like my life. You know what would be a really funny challenge for Sprinter is, like, if Kurt ends up getting, like, a top 10 in one or two of these races, he has to donate, like, $97 just for Kurt and his top 10 dream. That might be asking for way too much, but the meme opportunities are too glorious to miss. Oh my god, we're gonna actually make a spot up. Holy shit. Oh my god, progress. Kind of curious the lap car is gonna be, you know, I don't know, I guess we'll find out. Maybe this is the part where the car starts to come to life. Who knows? Oh, Kurt won in Michigan in 2015. Was it rain shortened? I can't remember. Good to see me. Well, thank you, Scott McNew, for the kind words. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for stopping by in the stream on Friday. Usually I don't stream on Fridays, but I guess since we're kind of by ourselves now, we actually are gaining on the leaders, so maybe lap traffic's playing a factor. Maybe my car is getting better in the long run. I don't know. I guess since we're by ourselves here, I can talk about... Hopefully Day 500 is still here. I know he was very interested in my story time because of the title. So Day 500, if you're here and you're lurking in the darkness, if you just like post eyeballs, then I'll know you're here. That's like your code. I don't know what that means, but I want to wait till he's here so I can tell the story, because it was honestly something that could be a TV episode, like an anime TV episode sitcom. It was that funny. My favorite season, damn, there's a couple. I think 2003, 2004 up there. 2001 was really good. Damn, it's hard to think of all of them. Or he donates $97 on lap 97 while in position 7 or 9 on the foul tuning. That's, ooh, Phantom Foxy, that's a good one. I didn't even think of that. So yeah, 2001, 03, I mean, really, 2001, 2, 3, and 4 were all, like, fantastic seasons. There's a lot of the Gen 4 early 2000 era was, like, phenomenal. After that, probably 2009 and 2012 were pretty good ones. The Gen 5 cars, once they got rid of the wing and the really goofy splitter, I like the cars. They're a little boxy, but they're way better than, you know, the Gen 6 and the frickin' 550 package crap. Anything past that, most of 2016 was pretty good. I remember there was a lot more races that season where I liked. Also, our car is starting to come to life somewhat. I mean, we're catching Mark and we passed him. So, I guess that's good. The interval is kind of still staying the same. About 7 seconds. We gained from like 7.5 to 7, so half a second. Progress is being made of some kind. Yeah, the car tomorrow wings try to be like... Yeah, I don't know why they thought that was going to be a good idea. That just seemed like a disaster waiting to happen with that design. Yeah, the 550 era was just awful. It still blows my mind they thought that was going to be a good idea. And again, I think the biggest problem was NASCAR gave people what they asked for after the 2018 All-Star race where people were going nuts over it. I remember there was content creators saying that that was a good idea or like they loved it, and yeah. That was, I remember in my review when I did that, it said it only worked for that specific circumstance as a random, like, a gimmicky race to try something that wild. And I remember saying, like, that shouldn't be, like, an idea to do full... That's why, when I made my video at, like, late 2018, when they were saying they were doing the 550 package, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking out. And I was for quite a while. For most of that season, I really don't remember a whole lot of races. I really didn't come back till Bristol, which was already 3/4 of the way through the season. because I was just like not having the idea of that package and just the awfulness of it. And look, and imagine that, I was right. It was gonna be shit. I don't like. I'm usually very seldomly am I like, oh, I told you so, but yeah, it was something else. Also, we just passed Harvick for second, which is a big deal because I think we're gaining on Stewart, or else my car is just finally starting to do something in the long run. But if so, that took almost 35 laps. So we're under 5.9. So I'm not sure if it's lap cars playing a factor or what. The 675 package next gen is not bad. Yeah, I mean it's a decent middle ground. I wasn't sure how. I mean anything was better than 550, so getting 670 is like. David Land said it perfectly, where he said it was like that's like a whole like it's like a different class car speed if it's in like a multi-class race thing. It's like a different group. I don't know, something like that. It was a good analogy. I think 750 was really good at short tracks. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, really 2021, like the best races of the season were races where they were using the 670 or the 7050 package. So it made Nashville really cool. I mean, I don't know. Maybe these new cars they need for like the short tracks, for like a mile and under. Go with 750 package. I don't know, it definitely needs something because the car has way too much like grip or something at the short tracks where it's just, I don't know, Martinsville is just bad. But I'm curious because I mean if they're gonna have a very big snoozer of a race for Martinsville for the round of 8, you know, wrap up, then yeah, it's gonna be bad because the previous years are always interesting at that track. From a racing perspective and a championship perspective, so that's really like the only round of the whole playoffs where it's interesting, for better or for worse, because those are like, I don't know. WWE on wheels. There is some extent to that. They can't control everything, but I feel like there is like a 5% chance, or there is like a 5% sprinklage of something. Yeah, we're closing in on Tony. We cut the gap in half from like 7.5 seconds to 3.7. But they're gonna fix the rear diffuser for short track. Now I was told by someone in my chat that that wasn't the issue, so I don't know if that's actually gonna fix anything. Or what they're gonna do.
27-20. You're losing ground on the leaders. The interval to the leaders about 3 seconds. Got one eye. Number 4. It's coming up quick. Okay, we're clear.
I think Tony's caught in lap traffic. I think that's what's going on here. No, he's by himself. Huh. Okay. Still worried about the pit cycle though, because we could lose time just on that alone. Damn, this is... What a plot twist. The fact that this car has gotten so good is honestly kind of amazing. I did not expect it to be like this on the long run. I thought maybe I would start to see some kind of improvement, but This is like a whole other level. We're not even halfway through the fuel run either. Well, this is going to be the battle for a lead. And yeah, we got it. Damn. What a comeback. Now we'll just try to gap them as much as we can before the pit cycle. We're not even halfway on fuel, so we could make some gigantic damage here during this run. Well, I guess since I'm leading and I don't think a whole lot's going to be happening for quite a while, I guess I could talk about my wacky Thursday, and that actually kind of has a good ring to it, but it was just a shit show. So we'll start from the beginning and kind of work our way through the day. So it's a Thursday, and, you know, sometimes on Thursdays or Mondays, it depends, but usually it's whenever Merge streams, and that day I always like, hey, I'm going to go get Arby's, because I like Arby's. I try not to go there too often because it's expensive, but I try to treat myself once in a while, and I go there. Things are great. You know, the line wasn't too bad. All that was solid. They forgot the Arby sauce, but I didn't drive past the window or anything because I always check to make sure it's in there. And I asked them for more, and like, alright, you know, that's just a tiny little hiccup, no big deal, things got resolved. And also turned out later that she actually ended up putting Arby sauce in there, but it was like at the very, very bottom of the bag. Usually put it like directly on top, so she put it in there along. I just didn't know. But you know, no big deal. You know, things are going pretty smooth. Then, okay, people are pitting early, so yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, things are going smoothly. Then on the way back home, this is where everything starts to fall apart. So then we got I got caught in like road construction traffic. And for this Arby's where I live, it's like maybe 30 minutes away from me, so it's a decent enough drive, but it's a drive that's long enough to make the food kind of lukewarm by the time I get home, so I always kind of, you know, put it in the microwave or wrap it in a paper towel or something, you know. But usually I just do it to the roast beef, and for whatever reason I don't do it to the fries. I don't know why I don't, but that's just how I operate. But yeah, road construction. For like a half hour, an extra half hour, and it was just pain. I mean, I obviously could have been so much longer, but especially when I'm bringing home food, and when I was leaving, or you know, when I was on the road, I didn't see them doing construction, so they must have just started doing it, and they did it to the side of the road where I was going into that. Or that was coming from before, so it was on both lanes or both sides at different like parts, and they were like repaving patches of the road. So there goes like an extra half hour. So when I come home, my food's just ice cold, and it just, you know, it sucks. So that's unfortunate. Halfway on fuel on lap 52, so we can pit on lap 103 basically. Yeah, so that sucked. That was just only the appetizer. The appetizer of all the bullshit that was going to come up later in the day. So that's just, you know, an inconvenience, and really just set the tone for the rest of the day. So I come home, I reheat my stuff. Roast beef, okay, got that reheated. Like 12 seconds in the microwave, no big deal. Then we go to the Arby fries, which is something I never do. And because I haven't practiced the art of microwaving the curly fries to an extensive professional matter, I take them out of the microwave and they fall. I dropped it. I don't even know how it happened. I still don't know how it was like a glitch in the Matrix. I don't know. It just didn't make any sense. So they fell. all over the floor. It was just a colossal nightmare. So then I have to pick them up. So now I got curly fries with a side of hair. And so basically, now I'm left with a dilemma. Literally all of them fell on the floor. It's not even like, oh, like half of them fell. No, all of them on the floor. That was just my worst nightmare. So I'm left with the conundrum of eat them or don't. But if I don't eat them, then I just waste my money on getting them. So I made the business decision to eat them. But I made sure after each curly fry picked up, I had to like psychoanalyze and look at it carefully. I'm like, okay, is there any hair on it? Okay, pluck them off. So it was just like, it was just tedious. When eating becomes tedious, then there is no joy to be had. This is why, okay, this is a nuclear take. So everybody buckle down your seats, but this is why I hate eating like wings or food where you need to get your hands dirty, because I don't want eating to be a project. I don't want it to be a big deal. And I hate it. I despise it with a fiery passion. So yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's like trying to eat a sesame seed bun, but taking the sesame seed off it, you know? It's just, it sucks. But that was the situation I was dealt with, so that was just not fun. But that is only the appetizer of the appetizer for how the day would progress. So after that, I do a little bit of editing and all that. And, you know, things are going alright after the fact. I mean, that kind of sucked, but, you know, I'm editing, doing things, and then I'm like, alright, I'm going to go downstairs and sleep on the couch because the couch is comfy. I think it's called a love seat. We have like an old love seat. But it's comfy, and I like to nap in it sometimes. So I do that. It's good. Things are going well. Then I wake up because the dog is barking out uncontrollably because the power flickers like 6 or 7 times, and the dog is just losing its mind. It hates it when the power goes out. It even hates the idea of it like flickering back on. Literally, it was to the point where it was just, the dog was just barking at the air conditioner, making like a slight beeping noise because the power was going off and on. It did like 6 times, and I woke up because of that. So now it's like 4:30 in the afternoon when it was like 95 degrees out with no fucking power. That was miserable. So I was just like, oh my god, this day just keeps getting worse. And I got a live stream today. I wasn't like totally 100% up for it that day just because the day was already kind of shitty and I was just kind of tired. So, you know, it's just, but then it's just like, well, now there's no way I can stream because the power's out. So in between that time, Mom has to go to the bank to deposit like a check and all that other stuff. So I'm like, alright, I'm gonna go with you just to kill time because there's not a whole lot to do, and it's just better to be out of the house. So I made that conscious decision to do that. And it's a hell ride to the bank because we left here at like 4:45, so we only had 15 minutes to get there, or maybe 20, but I think it was like 15. So here we go. Mom flying through the fucking roads, going absolutely crazy, and this is one reason I can't stand. Sometimes. Sometimes it's okay, but it's just, I can't stand the fact that my mom flies around rushing. And that was just, it was just, then I'm like thinking like, okay, it wasn't even worth it to go if I'm like not even relaxed. And, you know, she's going like fucking 70 through roads, like, it's stupid. It's like, it's one of those cases where it just pisses me off because it's like, you're gonna get in a fucking accident doing this shit. Like, is it really fucking worth it? Like, she does it all the time. So, I don't know, it's just... So we get to the bank, with like 5 minutes to spare. And then, after that, she's like, alright, I gotta go in the store. I'm like, alright, that's what I signed up for. Anything to kill time. So we go in the store, it's like, you know, 5 o'clock now, or 5 after 5, or something. And it just was a nightmare. I hate going to the fucking store at like the peak busiest hour of the day. It was just, ow, anxiety inducing. It was miserable. Like any instance where you stop for a second just to look at an item, somebody's up your ass or somebody's right behind you, and it's just, this is why I don't go to the store, or I go out either in the early morning before it gets busy or after the fact, because I can't stand being in public with that many people. I don't know if it's a social, it probably is a social thing, but just, I don't like it. It bugs me. So that was just, it made what was supposed to be a chill way to kill time. Maybe I should have expected that with the store, but it's like I had no other real options other than maybe like go to the Roadhouse. But it's like I already went out earlier that day to have something to eat. So it's like I don't know if I want to do that. But then I changed my mind midway through. I was like, all right, maybe we'll just go after we go to the store, then we'll go to the Roadhouse. And it's like, well, that would be kind of stupid because, you know, it got milk and other sort of frozen products, so that would not be a good idea to do that. And, it was just tedious. It was one of those cases where it's like, I probably would have just been better at home just trying to sleep again than to deal with all that, because that was just, it's obnoxious. There's so many freaking people out, and they're all over you. You can't even stop to just look at an item, and someone's like right behind you, or I just can't stand it. So that was just very unfortunate. But after the store, which I don't know, I mean, then we get into this weird like argument where, I don't know if it's an argument, debate, where, what is it? Basically, she went on this rant about how much stuff she's buying, how nobody else is buying as much as she is, and then I'm like, well, you know, I don't know what to tell you there. I don't know. And then she's saying, like, look at other people. They don't have to buy that much. It's like, well, they don't fucking buy so much shit. I don't know what to tell you. And then you're saying, oh, I spent like $300 at the store. And it's like, I don't know what to tell you. And then I don't know what to tell you. And then after that, like, after she gets, like, almost everything, it's like, oh, crap, I haven't got anything for dinner this week. It's like, well, why didn't you do that first? I didn't even know you needed anything for dinner. It's like, oh, my God. It's just, it was just a shit show. And it's just like, I should have just fucking stayed home and just slept. That would have been better than all this, dealing with all this. And then she's, I don't know what it is, she just randomly rants about things. It's like, oh, why is that car parked there? Or what are those people doing? You know, it's like, I don't know, it's just like roasting people. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's like, I mean, it would have to take a lot for me to be like, oh, wow, look at that person. Or, it was just miserable. I hated it. I despised so much of it. I didn't think it would be that bad. I guess I was just thinking, like, okay, it can't be that bad. And I was just like, alright, I'm desperate to do anything just because there's no fucking power. Because normally I wouldn't be going to the store and I wouldn't be fucking spending 2 hours in there. Jesus Christ, 2 hours. And it's just like, at maximum, I could probably deal with that for like an hour. I mean, I know this is like a lot of dumb petty shit, but it's just like 2 hours in the store with freaking people walking around and shit just feels like a fucking eternity. And considering just how shitty my day was up to that point, just didn't make things any better. But anyways, that's all done. That's all situated. Then Mom has to go get gas. And the store has like a gas station that's right by for like the Weiss store like points cards. You can use your point card to like save cents off on a gallon and stuff. So I was like, okay, fine. No problem there. Then something happened with my mom where she wanted to get a pack of smokes because another rant, and we're going into rant time now because Dad needs cigarettes, which is, first off, cigarettes are bad, okay, but Dad always keeps smoking no matter what, and I don't know, it never changes. He has all these health problems, and it just makes shit worse when you smoke because it just cuts your breathing off. So it's just that's stupid. That's a whole situation that's just dumb. But even that process couldn't go simply for Mom, and I felt bad for this one. But it's just like she went to go get gas, got gas, then she realized, oh, I need to get cigarettes for Dad. It's like, okay, fine. And then Mom comes back and she says she needs an ID, and it's like, that's weird. Why on earth would the clerk, or whoever's working there, want an ID from Mom? Do they really think she's under 18? Like, that is maybe the dumbest shit. I mean, maybe it's just a I don't know. At least in my area, in most places, I mean, as long as you're, like, clearly older, you know, they don't usually make that a hassle or a problem. They just look in you and be like, okay, you can have them. It's clearly you're over 18. But there's some weird places where, even if it's, I don't know, just, it's weird. It's like this weird unwritten rule. I don't know how the laws work in our state, so it was just really weird that they would ask Mom for ID when she's 63. Like, does Mom really look that good that she looks 18? What does that say about me, then, if I'm out with her? Like, I don't know. It's just weird. And that was, like, a whole process to do that, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, like, I didn't think getting gas can turn into such an ordeal. So I felt bad for Mom on that front, because that was just ridiculous. And I got damaged. Now I got OCD now to add on to this race. So we got that. So we got the gas, all that situated. We're going back home. Things went okay on the way fucking home. Then we come back home and the power's back on. That is fucking awesome. I appreciated that. I'm glad it was back on. I was looking up stuff on the way home, which was just like, you know, other power outages in the area, and it looked like there was one in ours, but it was like only 8 people were affected. It's like, oh great, out of the frickin' hundreds or tens of thousands of people in this area, only 8 were affected, and was I one of those 8? I'll never really know, but I highly doubt it, because it looked like there was way more houses that didn't have lights on than just 8. So maybe it's wrong, maybe I was looking at it wrong, so there's always a chance of that. But then we come home, obviously the power's back on. That's fucking awesome. Then Dad says that it came back on, right, like, you know, not too long after we left. So I'm like, wow. So I just wasted 2 hours and 2.5 hours nearly just for the power to be, like, it never comes back on that early. It's one of those things where it's like, it's great that it came back on so soon, but it was so unexpected, because we even called PP&L, which we have one of our, like, classic, like, old wired phones. Called it in. It said it wouldn't be back on till, like, you know, midnight, or midnight 30. That's not how you say it, but 12:30 in the morning. So at that point, it's like, okay, they're giving themselves, like, an 8-hour buffer, which is normal. They usually always give themselves, like, a really wide window. But it's like, usually comes back on after, like, hour 5 or 6 or something. But this time, it was only like an hour, which is even more stranger, because, like, it never comes back on that early. So of the 20 years I lived in this area, it never comes back on within, like, under 2 hours. So I'm blown away. I'm more salty because it's just like, well, now I just wasted all this time, got myself through all this, like, needless stress for no reason. I come back home, it's like 7:30, and it's like, well, obviously I can't stream, so, like, that's ruined. So that's just unfortunate. It had to be out just long enough to the point where I couldn't stream anymore for the rest of the day, because by that point Mooch was already into his stream, and it just wouldn't work out. I think I don't know if the weekly podcast was on last night or if it's on Wednesday. I don't remember, but that was just agony. We're about to lap Stewart because we're that fast in the long run. Jesus Christ, that is absolutely insane. So, yeah, it was just one thing after another, and by that point, I'm like, I'm fucking tired. I'm just gonna take a nap, because That was just misery. And then I realized too, after I, go upstairs, I'm just, I go upstairs, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm thinking like, oh my god, I just realized I had like, I don't know how many projects I was working on. I think it was 2 that I was working on. I was like, oh my god, I didn't fucking save the projects before I went downstairs to nap. So now I'm like, oh shit, now that the power's out, did it lose my progress on my fucking Busch Xfinity Series video that I was working on? Because I already had all the script done. I was just doing the audio editing, just putting things together so it sounds, decent. I'm like, oh shit, did I lose all that? But luckily, thank God, this is like the only positive of the day up to this point. That like things worked out. Is Sony Vegas has kind of a save feature, like an auto save feature. So when you boot it up, it's like it'll ask you like, hey, you had an unsaved project. You want to open it? I'm like, yes, please. And then it didn't open that one right away. I think it was working on like the World of Outlaws part 21 or 20 or something. I think it was part 21. But I already had that all edited and all that was like good. I think I was just trying to just get a thumbnail or just find a screenshot basically. So that wasn't, so okay, we open it up again and then it's there. So like, okay, thank God. It saved everything. It saved where I last left off. Sometimes when it does the autosave and then when it comes back, it sometimes doesn't go to the newest version that you were just editing on. It sometimes goes to a different one. But it left off where I needed, so that was good. Things were normal in that sense. So that was just absolute hell throughout that whole day. And it was awful. I don't know how other way I can interpret it as, but it was just ass. And it was just like something out of a TV show. There's like one thing after another goes wrong. And it was just awful. I despised it. Thursday was just such a shit day. I just never, I mean, it was comical just how many weird things would go wrong. And everything. And it was just annoying. Then Friday, today, I just was slapped. Because I was freaking tired. Still tired. Working on stuff, finishing up the script things for the, the Xfinity Series video. And now since I have all that's like finished with the editing, now I gotta put in the clips so they correspond. And since this is the first in its series, it's kind of hard to figure out like what kind of style I want to do or like how I'm gonna stick. It's the hardest part of the whole series, is just trying to make sure I get everything down, and it just that's like the trickiest part. So either way, it was just tedious. So I got that part to do now. And luckily, I mean, it's not a long video, so it shouldn't, it's not going to be like on the scale of a Robin video. So I guess that could have been bad. Fucking McMurray blocking me off the track for no good reason.
Nice work. The 12 car is inside. Still there. Okay, we're clear.
Yeah, we're gonna pit this lap. I mean, we have a lap on the lead on everyone else, so fuck it, we're gonna pit. 70 miles an hour. Gordon does the same. There we go. 4 tire stop. A little bit of repair time, but no big deal. Do you think any drivers can announce retirement after this season? After this season, no, I don't think so. That was a 15.7. That was actually really good on the Pickers part. And Still, actually, we beat Gord out of pit road. That's damn. And we cycled out in the lead. I think barely over Tony Stewart. So this is where the race gets interesting because it took us a long, long time for the car to really start getting good with the Sadler. Don't. Okay. So are we just barely ahead of Stewart? Yeah, only two and a half seconds. And I think he did undercut me. I just don't remember how. It took like 40 laps for the car to start getting good. So the fact we have a decent enough gap on him right now is good. Even if he gets, I think we'll be okay. I don't know, but we're still gonna try hard it and go all out just in case. 3.3, so I did gain time. So I think lap traffic is really messing them up big time. If Stewart's trying to pit, oh no.
Got one outside. 26, 88. Attaboy, keep it smooth, just like that. We made it to lap 100.
That could have been bad.
Eagles driver. Drop out. 3 wide, hold that line.
Yeah, as far as drivers retiring after this season, that's not going to happen. Truex already announced he has a contract extension. Harvick, I think his contract ends at 23. I think Kurt, there's been rumors and speculation that he might leave in 2023, so Reddick can take over that car. So there's a possibility of that. But obviously, with his injury, I don't know how that's going to work. It seems Kurt's very adamant to come back, so I have to imagine he's at least going to, even if he might do a season and be like, okay, this isn't going to work out. Because Kurt's one of those people that I think, like, once he realizes, like, he can't win anymore, or he doesn't have a chance, he doesn't think he has a chance, I think then he'll probably retire on that note. And I think what's kept him going for so long is just because he knows he can get a car to win. He has a like, you know, he could still, there's a chance that he could still get a win, and he still got it, which I still think he does. I mean, considering how long he's been racing for, the fact that he's still even able to get a win, or even just run, I wouldn't say super duper competitively, but an easy like round of 12 driver or round of 8 even, like he's able to, like, the fact he was even able to do anything in that one car is already amazing, because McMurray didn't do a whole heck of a lot in that car in 2018. 2017 he actually had a pretty decent year. I think he actually clipped Kurt in more like top 10s. But overall, McMurray didn't do nearly as much as he well, I guess the point is Kurt did a lot more with that one car than McMurray did. It was able to get a win, able to get in the playoffs, able to do something in that car. And did pretty good. That's why I don't understand why Iceberg made the saying that ever since 2018 Kurt's average finish dropped. It's like, well, no shit, he's in a Ganassi car. I expect that. Like, no, like, it's like obvious. He's going from a Stuart Haas car, which at that time was like an A tier car, to now like a B- tier car. Of course, he's going to have a worse average finish with the lesser equipment car. But considering the people he's racing with, or just the previous driver of the car, the one, like, he did pretty damn good. Got them 3 frickin' wins in 3 seasons. I don't know how many top 10s, but like at least over 35 or 40. And put up pretty decent numbers considering what that car was normally running. Like, that's just, it's bullshit. It's a bullshit case, because, like, yes, statistically his average finish dropped, but he went to a lesser equipped car and he was only slightly worse. That's pretty damn good, I think. That's, I don't know, it's pretty good. 2021 was like the first year, but I mean, he was already with an organization that was already starting to die out, so I don't know. It's just, then this year, it's been a mixed bag. I mean, again, he's with a new team and a car that has never been ran before. Probably knew everything, and he's still able to run well and put himself in a position to win. And when he wins, it's not like a bullshit fluke win. Like, he's just actually good that day. It's not like Austin Dillon where he gets 3 fluke wins at like marquee tracks. Well, except Texas, but like all 3 of his wins were just, or Eric Almirola where he's got 3 of his wins in like really weird circumstances. But yeah, it's just, and really what tanks his average finish is because of the fucking restrictor plates, because he always gets cucked out of him because he actually drives sensibly and doesn't race like an idiot and like just block people in the wall and wreck everyone. He's always the fucking victim in it. He's basically this era's Ryan Newman, essentially, because he always gets fucked out of it. Daytona, he got in a wreck. Talladega, right at the very end, he got destroyed because Larson thought it was a good idea to not only block. It was not only that was a bad block, but then he said, "Oh, that was the best racing I've ever done." It's like, well, you fucking ran over, you like destroyed people. Yeah, that's the best racing I've ever done, and obliterates the fields. Like, yeah, that's fucking smart. So Kerr was the victim in that shit. Then we go to Atlanta, which shouldn't be a fucking restrictor plate to begin with. Which, it's stupid. It's not even a restrictor plate, but a super speedway track. It shouldn't have been that to begin with. Kerr gets an incident there because Chase blocks Corey LaJoie up the track. And Kurt's just, of course, just there to get in the wreck. And all those little incidents here and there led up to his concussion at fucking Pocono. Because both the cars fucking terrible with hitting the side panel shit. And then, yeah. So it's just, from a fanboy perspective, it's been both good and, like, when it's good, and when it's bad, it's just really bad. This is just, I despise it, but at least the racing, for the most part, has been pretty good. There's been some races where it's like, holy Christ, that is a colossal shit show, but this is definitely the best season since 2018. I don't know if that's saying much, but I don't know. But it's just, maybe it's better than 2018, but yeah, so that's just been frustrating to deal with all that. Tony Stewart's actually closing in on me, so this is a bit concerning. Sue NASCAR. I think NASCAR still has that really dumb contract where it's like you can't go against them, or you can't go against them legally, because that was something Mayfield was trying to do back in the day, and there was a contract clause for that, so I don't think any of the drivers can really do something like that. Okay, you know what, Stewart's actually, oh my god, he's only a second and a half. Holy Christ. He's fast. He is very fast. Lap traffic get in his way. Damn, I didn't even notice that. He is closing. How did he, I don't know what happened exactly, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if we have enough laps in the race to really make this, like, I mean, I don't think there's enough laps in the race for me to really start to gain back on him. We did put the gap, I mean, we have lapped the whole field except for Dale Jr., and he's right in front of me. I can't believe how this race is playing out. Stewart's still kind of there. We've lapped up to third. It is just me and Tony Stewart on lead lap. How fast is Stewart? How bad has their pit cycle been? How did I don't understand any of this right now. Well, it should be pretty hard for Stewart to get around Dale Jr. because that is a much faster car in the field. Jimmy Johnson's in fourth. I wish Toxic was here because I'm sure he would like that, but Toxic's only here when Jimmy runs bad. It's like, I don't know. It's just, there's some poetic irony in all that. Now, the AI in this game, shockingly, they never do pit stops where they just take right side tires and a bit of fuel. They always take forward no matter what. From what I've experienced from playing this game thousands of times, that just seems like what they do. I think maybe in later NASCAR games they try that. Maybe it's starting in like NASCAR 5, but I'm not positive. But usually they always take forward. So I think Stewart just pitted much later than me. Maybe? Or maybe he pitted earlier? I don't really know what his pit cycle was. But he was starting to close in on me there. And we don't have too much lap cars to deal with. So that's a bit concerning because we got 30 to go. Or 29 here when we cross the line here very shortly. Thank you, Phantom Foxy, for being my crew chief throughout all this. I appreciate it. I think that's helping me out, to be honest. Let's get this dub. Alright, broskies with the freaking 7 emoji. Yeah! I'm glad to see that. That's the perk of being a member. You get like channel emotes when I live stream. You get to post those. So hell yeah. I like to see that. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. I'm always happy to see that. Pit later. That would make sense. I remember he stayed out for a long time like me, but I didn't know how much later. Oh god. Jeff Green. I didn't know what Jeff Green was doing, to be honest. I didn't know where he was going. Okay, lap traffic is destroying Stewart now. He was pretty close to me, and now I gained 2 seconds on him. I guess lap traffic's more of a factor here than I ever thought. See what the interval is this time. Oh. Don't tell me Stewart's pit. Oh my god, we just won this race. Like, we have officially won this race with 25 to go. Why did they pit a second time? I don't understand any of that. Well, we just won the race. We lapped the whole field. Everybody pitted again? I think? Yeah, I don't understand any of this. I'm very confused. I don't know, like, if Stewart never pitted up until now. No, because I lapped him before. So I don't know why he's pitting a second time, unless he blew up. That would be a story and a half, but I think he's still in second, so that can't be the case. I don't know what's going on. I'm lost. I don't understand any of that right now. I mean, I think we're probably gonna win regardless because we had a big enough lead on them. But yeah, that's kind of a shame. When Gordon came to pit road. I mean, it might be the case. I don't know. It's just because I'm pretty sure he pitted pretty close to me or slightly after. So why would he pit like in like 25 or 28 laps later? I don't know. That's just weird. This is why I still have my working theory that might be a fact at this point, that I think 25% of races are the perfect length in this game. Because it doesn't seem like the AI do any weird pit strategy, or it just seems like the racing kind of plays out a little more better, and the competition is a lot harder because there's less laps and there's more, actually gives it a lot more time for the tires to burn out. And I do think 25% is way more challenging. I do like the oh boy, when we do the 20th year like anniversary like career mode series again, like next year, it's you'll see that, because it is a lot tougher. And it took me multiple seasons to get competitive, even with custom setups, so I do think that'll be a really fun challenge. And we'll show just how much of a pleb scrub Shieldhouse is at racing at the game. That's mean, I'm sorry.
I want to see more of those laps. Good job. 20 now. 20 laps to go.
Well, the race has gone by pretty quick. I don't know how long this has been, but I think it's been like an hour and 9 minutes since the race actually began.
The 30 car is outside.
Which is, it's pretty good.
Still there. Number 30 is looking right. Okay, we're clear. 47, 5. Attaboy, keep it smooth just like that.
Oh, I guess I can explain the... 5 on back is 2 laps down. With how this game works, unless I passed one of them in the top 5, but usually how this game works is when they're already a lap down, if you are more than half a lap ahead of them, they will round it up to being an extra lap down. It's weird. I don't know why they do that. I don't know if any other game does that. Maybe Thunder 03 does it too. But that's just how they do in this game, and it's just weird. There's Newman up there. How are we about? We are... Well, I don't think he's in the top 5. Junior's 5th. I think... No, that's Elliott. I have no idea where Kurt's at. Is he even in the top 10? I don't even know. Is Jimmy still in the top 5? I can't remember. I think he was at one point. Is this like 7th and 6th right here in front of me or something? I don't know. Yeah, well, they're definitely not a top 5. I don't see Junior anywhere, so maybe this is like top half of the top 10, maybe?
The 16 car is up high. Clear all around. 27, 22. That one was quick. Let's do it again.
Thunder 03, Heat Evolution Plus. I would say Heat, God. Ultimate Edition Plus is maybe more wackier, but I don't think both of them are... I would say Heat Ultimate Edition Plus is probably worse with the weird winners and stuff. Thunder 03 isn't as egregious. From what I remember, again, I don't have a freshest memory on that game, because I haven't played it in years, so I can't remember. So there's Dale Jr. in 5th, so we're about to legitimately lap him. Well, that's still not even for a top 5. Ricky Rudd's in 4th, hey. Okay. Up for Ricky Rudd top 5. I guess the bad news is I don't think Kurt's in the top 10. I would have seen him by now, so I don't know if he... I don't know where he's at, to be honest. Newman was doing, like, the Parkinson's dance or something up there. That was weird. Well, this race kind of took a flip on its head, because for, like, the first 45 laps, Tony Stewart was just destroying me, and then I just ran him down. And then I pulled away and lapped him on the long... Like, my car had the best long run I've ever seen in the career mode. To have that kind of speed, enough to the point where I was able to run him down from like 7.5 seconds back to passing him and then lapping him. That is an insurmountable level of gain. That's like 30 plus seconds I gained on him during that like green flag run. That was just insane. Also, Newman, I guess, is fast. He might have just recently pit.
Clear all around.
That is a massive run off the corner. We'll get by Newman there. He was causing a little bit of problems, but damn, he just he had enough of Fittipaldi. They just yeeted him. Burns running an 01 Superguard scheme. Ooh, I didn't even notice that. Hey, that's another alternate scheme. Got a couple of alternate schemes today, so that's pretty cool.
The 22 car, top 5.
So there's Ricky running 4th or 5th.
27, 12.
So we are about to legitimately lap up into the top 5 twice.
Clear on both sides.
That's insane to think about. Somebody's blown up. Jerry Mayfield. The Everham cars just always have bad luck in this game, I swear. Well, as far as the point day is concerned, we're going to gain some on Tony Stewart. Not a whole lot, but... Hello, Waltrip. About 20 points maybe, or 15. I think we clearly led the most laps. But the crew chief hasn't said, hey, you got the most laps, so I don't... Maybe I missed it?
47, 43. That was a great lap, buddy.
And there's 5th place right up there to lap. Again. Good run for Ricky Rudd. I'm happy for him.
The 21 car is still there. Hold your line. He's still there.
When we get to Pocono and nothing happens, I'll
7, 48.
talk about the
That's the speed we're looking for. Just 5
the core story time stuff, because it's amazing.
Got one outside. Clear on both sides.
I'll only do it once I know I have to leave and things are looking good. But so far with this, a couple laps left to go. I have no idea where 4th is at. Like Harvick, I don't think I see him. Yeah, I can't even see him in the distance, so I don't know. Now we gotta see where Kurt finished, though. I don't think it's a top 10. As much as I want that to happen, I don't think it's a top 10. Yeah, AJ, the context for that is I don't really know. Stewart pitted like a second time. He was only like 3 seconds behind me, and he was able to run me down to like a second and a half back, but he got caught in lap traffic for a little bit. It seemed like he was going to give me a genuine threat, but then he pitted again. So I don't know what really happened there, but that was disappointing.
You should be about halfway on fuel. 27, 18. Attaboy. Keep it smooth, just like that. White flag next time by.
What a race. I don't even... I'm just so confused how this all played out. This should not have been... Oh god, oh my god. Hello, Nemechek. That's probably my fault, but... I guess he finishes 12th. That's a good possibility. Top 15 might be a safe bet. We're in the white flag time. We just crushed them. Kind of a unpredictable race in how things are playing out. You never really could expect what was going to happen next, but off the last corner, we'll get another dub in the season, our 11th win of the season. Yeah. Yeah. I will. Hour and 8 minutes. Damn. For 50%, that's...
A rare caution-free race.
You know, that's pretty amazing. It says a lot about the quality and true talent of these NASCAR Winston Cup drivers.
The MB&A car gets the win.
All the hard work this week has just paid off for that team. That was an awesome win.
The 63 car may have some friends out on the track after this one.
Relationships with other drivers are important in NASCAR Winston Cup Series. It can make you or break you.
He didn't have too much to say, but that's better than other stuff. Will the replay show? I don't think it will. I don't think it's going to show anything. We're going to victory lane. Have my driver celebrate because he's an absolute Chad. Yeah! Yeah! Sprinter! You don't even know where Kurt finished yet, you're still doing that. Holy Christ! Oh my god. I feel like the driver now. More than I ever did. Holy shit. Damn. Yeah. Oh god, Sprinter, I love you. I love you. You're too awesome. I can't appreciate that enough. Thank you so much for that. If Kurt's not in the top 10, what are we gonna do now? Like, no text. No text. That is the most Giga Chad thing to do. Is just drop like a big sum of cash and then just walk away. Not even like a little caption, just a little, and then walk away. What an absolute Chad. We're going to see the rest of this top 10. Mark got 7th. And Marlon's 8th. Junior's 9th. Kurt got 10th! Oh, it fits within the quota I was just saying earlier. Ah! Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I spat everywhere. Holy sh... I honestly thought I was like right around like top 15. But no, he got a top 10. What happened to Dale Jr.? Wasn't he up in the top 5? I'm even more confused. Kurt had a rock solid day. And Sprinter gambled. Like, I don't know if that's not a gamble, but his instincts knew. His instincts fucking knew, man. Like, he did that knowing, like, I got a feeling Kurt got a top 10. And did that anyways.
So glad to see a dub.
Broskies! Oh my... Holy crap! Thank you so much for the 20! Thank you. Oh my god. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for the 20. I appreciate that. You're too kind. That's freaking awesome. I love that. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate you sticking around, watching the stream. Everybody in chat. I love chat. I love super chats. Carol Bonnie 17. Nice. Anybody else blew up? Bobby Labonte blew up, which is very disappointing because I think he was in an altered scheme, so that's disappointing. 12 laps into the race, too. Jeez. Mayfield, I knew, blew up right at the end. Skinner was just slow, but Sharpie instinct. I guess so. I guess so. Here's a fun fact. This was going to be the Sharpie. I was going to have Kurt sign my thing. So, I had this ready because I wanted him to sign like the black box, like the elite box, because this would show up really good. So I had this ready. You know what was shitty? There was 2 of them in this thing here. 2 of them in this. And one of them didn't even work. That's some shit. Like, when I was writing it, like, the ink didn't even, or the thing didn't even come up too well. This one did. So that, I don't know what the reasoning is for that, but this was the only good one. I was, which is nervous because I was like, oh god, please let him. That's one of my biggest. That might be. I don't know if that's in my biggest life regrets, but it's probably within the top 10 somewhere. Because literally, I wanted to, and to think like, he couldn't be there Thursday and he was there Friday. And then the next day after that, Saturday, he gets in this qualifying crash. Like, that could have been a time for me to see him. And that is such a fucking regret. I'm going to regret that for Moral of the story: if that ever happens when like a driver's supposed to be in your area and he doesn't go to that place and he goes to the next day.
Motherfucking.
Oh my god! It actually said it. And Carrot's there. Oh, I can't. Oh, thank you, JC, for the $1. It actually said the F word when you word it like that. That's really cool. I never knew that. $188 backstage. We only gained about 10 on Tony Stewart. I didn't even look at the laps led. Oh my god. But yeah, Kurt with his top 10 run, that puts him actually in 9th. 15 back from Newman. I think Newman had a better finish. Kenseth's still in 10th. Ricky Rudd's only 20 back. Show us the Pocono pick. Oh yeah, okay, oh yeah, I remember that. Let me bring it up here on my Google Chrome. Hello that. Let me bring that over here. Bring this up here. I need at this point we're gonna have to start like saving these in like a file somewhere so I have these like saved in a folder. Let me bring it up here. Pocono was a pretty juicy one. This screen. Okay, copy and paste that on the Chrome. Because for whatever reason when you stream, Google Chrome is much better to use than Firefox. I don't know why. But here it is. This is the one he did for Pocono. It's actually in big screen, so let me get rid of my face cam here so you can see it all. There it is. That's what Richard made for Pocono a couple weeks ago when I went to Pocono in the stream. I gotta say I'm still very honored. What about the peanut though? God damn it, JC. But yeah, I love this. I love the references. And I love the fact that this is legitimately really cool. The fact that if you flip the Doritos, it might be, I mean, I know it's a Doritos logo, but I don't know if it's like how that's actually like on the bag or like he just like tilted it. But that is a legitimately really, really cool idea. Why doesn't Doritos sponsor a Pocono race? It would be fucking perfect. That is like perfect. That would be perfect to use. I love that. I love the ingenuity. I don't want to look at this track. It's going to make me cry. But thank you for taking the time to do that. That's cool. And since you asked, hello, Danganronpa. But yeah, since you asked, I will show that because, I mean, you just freaking did a gigantic Super Chat course, but spun a Dorito logo. I see what you did there. That would explain, because I was thinking, like, that can't be the original, like, Doritos logo, like, right from, it must be, I was thinking maybe it was rotated, but okay, that would explain it. That's a really cool design. I like that idea. It's so simple, but so effective. That is legit. It's awesome. But yeah, that's our top 10. Nothing really shaked out too much. I wish the game would at least show like who moved up and down in the standings, because in the caution replay it shows that. So it does seem like that would be something easy to do. But yeah, we're gonna go to here, repair anything we need. I mean, everything was in pretty perfect condition. This one here is our weakest one. Our engine efficient chassis thingy came in, but I can't really do anything there yet. Bodies, can we do anything here? This is our weakest one technically. So that goes up to a 71, so go with that. Engines can't do anything there. Chassis, our weakest one is the 69. That in this instance, it is not nice. That goes up to 72, so we'll do that. She didn't read the peanut in the message. Huh. It didn't even show up on the thing, too, so that's even more baffling. Huh. I don't understand that. That's interesting. But yeah, we're gonna go to the engine or the shop editions, and I don't know what else to really go for. I mean, I feel like we got good enough engine power. Maybe body drafting just for the restrictor plates and for Daytona, which I mean we're not really going there anymore, but I don't know. I think at this point we could probably not really do anything with the car and still be, you know, just championship worthy. But we're going to throw that in there. That might help us out in the long run anyway, so we'll do that for 6 races. And with all that said, we got all the adjustments made there, so we're just going to jump in the Pocono. We're going to use, because after this one is Indy, so I want to make sure we save that number 5 for Indy. So we're not going to use our absolute best, but we're going to use like our second tier stuff, which is still pretty good. So we'll go chassis number 2. Engine will still go with number 2 as well, because that's still our highest one. Body, this is going to be we'll save that for Indy, but we'll go with this one here because that's slightly better. 70, so 2 down from New Hampshire. But I know Pocono, we should have a good enough car. Like, this should be good, more than good enough, from what I remember. Wait, are you using the PS2 or an emulator? It's an emulator. See, because I can click this, and there's the emulator stuff here on the bottom of the screen. But how do I stream these? It's basically, well, it's actually really easy because since it's just through the emulator, I could just screen record just the PC screen, like through the Streamlabs OBS, and that's basically it. Just adjust the audio level a little bit, and that's it. Marcus on pole, hell yeah. Benson's up there, so he's gonna fall back. Uh-oh. Kurt's 14th, but there's slower cars up there, so he could cheese a top 10 again. But he already got 1 for the stream, so I think his quota is quite filled for today. But we'll jump into qualifying. I'm not even going to adjust anything. We're just going to jump right into it. I might have to adjust 4th gear, but I'm not sure. But we'll definitely do that in qualifying if we have to. As far as like PC stuff, that's where it gets tricky because I'm using a pretty decent one with stuff, and I'm no PC like tech guru thing. But I think that might be a case where you need to go to maybe Best Buy and talk to a Geek Squad person and just kind of ask them like what you would like to use for a PC and like what you're going to be using it for, and they'll probably tell you the specs you need. For like what kind of motherboard you need and other sort of like accessories. I do think something like that would probably be pretty good. You don't need something like astronomically crazy to run this, but it just depends on what you're using it for.
Govdom muffuckin' peanuts, that's what it muffuckin' is, what if?
Yeah, okay, it said it there. Oh, that's funny. Hey, ball so hard, Will.
I just saw that you won at Hampshire. Remember the days of you raging at the track in the Thunder 03 career mode? Good times. How's your father doing?
Oh, thank you, ball so hard, Will. Oh man, I miss you in chat. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the $4.99. You've been a fan of this channel for ages, so thank you so much for that. I'll talk about it. I'll answer your question right. How do I do this now? I'll answer it now. I'll answer it now because this is a good time. You went out of your way to do a super chat. I'm going to answer it right now. How my dad's doing? It's very. I mentioned this earlier in the stream. Somebody asked the same thing, but I'll say it again. It's been off and on with different things, basically. As far as heart-wise stuff, he had the open heart surgery, and as far as the heart stuff is concerned, I'm guessing that's all right. I mean, he went to Hershey, which is like 3 hours or something away from here, and he did all the scannings a couple months ago, and things were fine. It's more just his back and his neck, which I don't know what stems from that, other than just maybe sleeping on the couch downstairs, or just not having his neck propped up properly. I'm not sure what, but something's going on with his back, which it stems back way in the 80s, like 87. So basically when he was literally my age at this point. He had a back issue, and he didn't get surgery for it for 7 years until 94, because he was very stubborn about getting a surgery, because he was worried that and paranoid that once he gets a surgery, it's gonna like ruin his back for life. But he eventually got it after. I tell you, he's stubborn. He's stubborn because it took him 7 years to get back. But yeah, I guess the issue came back. But it's basically a slipped disc. I don't know if it's in the same spot as it was years ago, but it's a slipped disc on the lower part of his back, and also like I don't like there's no like cartilage or nothing in between the bones, so it's just like bone rubbing on bone, and it's just painful. I can only imagine. So he's just been in a bad mood. I can't blame him, but just he has been feeling good, and his stomach's not feeling good too, which could be attributing to just the pain he's dealing with. So I'm assuming so. He got like the steroid pills, where it's like, you take 5 a day for day 1, 4 on day 2, and then it lowers it as each day you go. But yeah, so just like all that stuff's going on. He's got a scheduled appointment, hopefully for next week, to get like one of those like cortisone shots. That's not it. But he's getting one of those injections in his back to stop the pain for a bit. He's also going to a chiropractor next week, but they were also saying, like, because the issue in his back and stuff like that's going on, like they were saying for him to not do the back massage, but instead probably just something with his neck. So that's what's going on with that. Just a lot, to be honest. But yeah, so it's just a lot. But that I to answer your question as quickly as I and just cliff note-y version as possible without going into an hour detailed video about it. But that's what's going on. So, but yeah, thank you for asking. Thank you for wondering how he's doing, and I appreciate you stopping by the stream. And there's another fun thing to talk about is he actually, we still have your the number 16 like quarter side panel of the number 16 Alan Quickie Throwback 1, the Xfinity Series. Like, we actually have that hanged up in the garage because I didn't know where to put it. It was always just kind of in the hallway, but it was like, now we have, I mean, this happened like a couple years ago, but it's in the garage now, and it's always cool to look at, and I always think about it. So that's freaking, I always think about that. So yeah, good times. But yeah, it's just cool. It's cool to own something like that and have that. It's I would hope so. Yeah. Oh shit. Well, we're gonna jump into it. Have Emmerin take it away. See what they gotta say for Pocono.
Welcome to Pocono Raceway, located in the heart of the beautiful Pocono Mountains, for today's Pennsylvania 500 on MRN. This track produces some of the fastest racing of the year, but it also presents some special challenges to the drivers.
Well, this is one of NASCAR's toughest tracks, especially for the crews who set up these race cars. Nothing is the same in any aspect of this racetrack. 3 totally different corners, 3 straightaways of different lengths. It's enough to drive a crew chief crazy.
The MBNA car looks to continue his top 5 streak with a good finish here.
And let me tell you something, Joe. You throw in a couple of wins to go along with those top 5s, and all of a sudden you're in the hunt for the championship.
2002.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
All the Winston Cup cars are out in the field, ready to race. I got my Hooters thing on because you mentioned it. It's still in great condition after all these years. So we are fucking ready. We're ready to kick some ass. So, yeah. Lag. Oh, that's perfect. Right when I have my epic reveal. That is disappointing. But Did I ever tell you how many die-casts I pre-ordered this season? No, you haven't. Oh, God. But yeah, it's still in great condition. It's freaking awesome. I did it for Alan. Hell yeah. I mean, it was his last career win was at Pocono, so actually, there's even some like connection there. I don't know what this is, but like there's connection. Oh, I'm getting excited. All right, here we go. 100 laps. Let's kick this field's ass. Mark starting second. Hopefully he has a good run. 14. Jesus Christ, JC. Maybe that's what your username is, like, maybe it's not for your name, it's for Jesus Christ, because you got 14 diecast. That could have been really bad.
Number 2 is still there. All clear, buddy.
Whew, that was a little scary on the start with how the car didn't want to go, but that's kind of normal, so I'm used to that.
We're in the lead.
There we go. We got the lead in turn 3. And I think we're going to be good from here on out. No, it's John Cena. Jesus Christ. I did it again! Wow. JC did the meme before the meme... He created his account before the meme was a thing. Car's a little bit tight. It might get looser as the run goes on, but it's definitely a little tight right now. Do you have a diecast collection? I used to, years and years ago, but the last time I really started collecting them regularly was around 2007 or 2008. And then for years, I stopped collecting them until like 2014, I think.
Hey, what I F? Take my COVID money. Been sick all week. Thanks for the entertainment. Keep it up.
Aw. Aw, thank you, Mark Harbor, for the $4.99. I appreciate that. Thank you. Take your COVID money. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're sick all week. That sucks. Hopefully it's not the Rona. That would be awful. I'm hoping you're improving. Being sick is awful, but... Well, what is pretty humbling is the fact you're taking the time to watch me when you're not feeling the best. Hopefully with your little, you have your TV app thing where you can use YouTube on the TV, have that up on, meet my whole fat face on the big screen, and listening to me as you're eating chicken noodle soup and wrapped up in a Snuggie, which I don't even know if they make anymore, or a blanket, whatever, getting all comfortable as you watch my stream, eating some chicken noodle soup with bread, preferably with butter. That's how I usually eat it, but that's not. But yeah, I appreciate that. Oh God, oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that. I really hope you're doing all right. That is never. I mean, that sucks.
I gotta head out. Hope you win again, man. I've loved your content for years, and
Aw.
I'm glad I'm finally a member.
Oh, broskies, thank you so much for the 5 as well. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. No worries. Head out. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you got going on. Thank you for enjoying my content for so long and being a member. I appreciate it. That's pretty freaking sweet. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for everything and supporting the channel. It means a lot more than I can comprehend with my dumb ass, but thank you. Hopefully you'll be back by the time I'm still streaming, but I don't know. But thank you for being here. But yeah, I'm Mark Harmon. I am sorry you have the Rona. That is, I don't know how. I mean, it seems like every person that I know had it, or just stuff I hear. It's always different for different people. It seems like the younger you are, the worse it is. I mean, I can only attribute that to like getting the booster shot. Like when I got the shots, they like kicked my ass. But my parents, and my sister, like, they didn't really have any issues. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but I don't know if that's how it works. But just, and yeah. But hopefully you're doing all right. And I don't know if you live with your parents or girlfriend, wife, whatever the situation is. Hopefully you're quarantining yourself, staying safe, and doing all the precautions you need to do, being a good COVID patient. Is that a thing? I don't know if that's even the right vernacular, but yeah, best of luck to you in getting better, and hopefully you bounce back from it and kick its frickin' ass. Because you are a frickin' badass in the chat. I have to imagine you're a badass in real life, so yeah. But usually I have your big face on my big screen. Okay, hey, that's pretty cool. Got my Umbreon blanket, so basically Snuggie. Oh, huh, I never heard of that. Damn, well, you sound pretty comfortable right now. Yeah, well, what if butter's my bread? God damn it, JC. Well, since I am leading, not by it's a pretty big margin. I guess Spencer Boyd asked me a question earlier in the stream about my experience in core and like how that went. I guess since there's nothing really going on in the race, I can talk about it. So I guess I can start just like how it all started off. Well, we got a lot of laps to kill, so might as well start from the beginning. So basically it started with Dale Reynolds and JC, because for my birthday in I don't know if it was for my birthday. It might have been for my birthday in 2019. I think it was 2019. Yeah, because Heat 3 was coming out. Yeah, so it was right around my birthday in 2019. They both pitched in money to get me a PS4. And that was fucking amazing. I could not believe the two did that. And that was insane. But because I had that, I was like, well, I guess I could try core. Because that was something that was going on at the time. But I really wasn't really interested in it because I didn't have a PS4 at the time. So I was like, alright, well, whatever. It was Christmas 2018. Okay, that would explain it then. I mean, then again, my Christmas and my birthday are like 2 weeks apart, so the fact that I was that close on a timeline is pretty good. But that was like insane. So with that, I was like, okay, well, I guess I can try core now because I don't know. I was originally just gonna do part-time, just kind of do random racing because I really didn't do league racing stuff up to that point since like 2015. So been out of the loop for a long time. So got into that, did the Daytona stuff. I won the duel, so that was cool, I guess. And then we did the 500. It went on it. It was all right. Like it was pretty big at the time, and I don't really remember anything like horrendously awful occurring. The Carnation one, which I guess that kind of paints a picture for how the series was going to go in. I don't know if that means anything, but considering that he basically did next to nothing in the league, like in terms of like competitiveness afterwards, like yeah, it was kind of more of a Mickey win than anything. JD Land, I've never seen you before. Hello, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the $3.42. It's very specific. I wonder if there's a numerology reasoning behind it. I was looking at chat. But thank you for that. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by and doing that. That's pretty cool. So somebody's blown up. That's Dale Jarrett. Oh, that's in a bad part of the track. That might be a caution. That could be a yellow. I wish I could look back, but I can't. But that could be pretty bad. And I see something happening in the track map. I don't know if that really did anything, though. I don't think it did anything. I guess that was anticlimactic, as they would say. But yeah, with the core stuff, Daytona went through, and it was like, you know, alright. And then we go to, I believe the second race was at Michigan. Oh, God almighty. So there's some really interesting backstory behind this. Because Daytona went so well in the radioactive stuff that they posted, like, things were actually going pretty well for the series. Things were good. Like, that was the race where I think NASCAR and NBC retweeted, or not retweeted, but they replied to Carnation winning the core Daytona race or something.
1572.
And that was cool. So for Michigan, from what I heard from the admins at the time, I don't know if this was true or this actually ended up happening or what, but this is what I heard, so this could be wrong. But apparently Rick Allen was watching the stream for the second Michigan race, which in and of itself, before we get into the actual race, that's pretty cool that he took the time to watch the stream. But that first Michigan race was so bad and so embarrassing. Everybody just kept wrecking. A lot of the issue was because people had the automatic gears, so it would make them go slower on the start, so it would just kind of cause like a stack up of the field, and people try to make a move, and the game's not really great out for online, so there was like weird net coding issues at times. So it provided not so great racing because it was just a wreck fest, and it was so bad to the point that we actually redid the race with baby mode. Now, what do I mean by baby mode? This was something, a joke between like me and Ed Soundhead. Was basically they did the race with assists on, so it was basically like traction control was on essentially, and like it was like slot cars really couldn't wreck or not. It was really, really bad, and it was just a complete, I don't know, just annoying race. And yeah, so that was just atrocious. The fact that Rick Allen watched a shit show of a race, probably never bothered to watch it again after the fact, because why would he bother taking his time to watch a shit show? So I can't blame him there. So Michigan was just an utter disaster, and I don't remember the whole schedule, so I can't remember a lot of stuff. But I remember running pretty well in it. The only issues I've ever had in the series, like when I was racing, like in terms of like me on track, I think I ran myself out of fuel at Chicagoland. I think that happened to me some other place. But everywhere else, I was like top 3 or 5. Like I was running pretty good. I don't know, it's just decent. But the one I remember the most was Martinsville, because that was the race where they laid the hammer down on the penalties. They threw out multiple penalties for people wrecking and shit, and I thought it was fair. It was a mess. People were just running over each other. Though to be fair, that game is really goofy with the lag bubble and like how things are different on people's screen, especially at track with such close quarters racing. Like, who knows how many instances that occurred where they didn't get close to them on their screen, but the person that got hit, like, they just got obliterated. So it was just kind of really tough to race. I remember that. It was just, that was gross. Chicagoland was a good race, though. I remember that. I remember that was actually the race where JC looked like he had the car to win. Like, I remember I was like, damn, like he a fast boy. I remember that pretty well. I think I was running maybe 3rd. And then it came down between Dale Reynolds and Michael Mertz in an epic battle. And Carnation almost ruined it. He was a lap down car and like got in the way. It's just one of many dumb things Carnation did on track. And I don't know. I don't know him personally. I don't think I've ever talked to him. If I did, it's been years, but I don't know. Him and his humor is just, maybe 13-year-old me would love that, but I just look at it now, it's like, ear rape isn't funny. Just blasting just extreme ear raging noise isn't funny. Like, if he just did some audio mixing where it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's loud, but it's not like distorting loud, and it's like a loud that's not loud. There's a way to do loud and probably make it funny, but not just blasting it as high as possible can and destroying your ears. Like, that's just annoying. So, I don't know. Maybe it's changed since then, but I just never found that type of humor really funny. But as far as like his racing stuff on track, it was just ass, and he almost ruined a really good finish because he was just in the way. Oh, we'll get to IDK player. In terms of him racing in core, we'll fucking get to that at some point. So I remember, Chicagoland being good with, the weird, Carnation almost ruining that. Martinsville, that was pretty rough. I can't remember too much after that. I do remember the championship battle was pretty cool between me and Dale Reynolds, which was absolutely awesome because me and Dale Reynolds have so much respect to each other on track, and I know he's a good, clean racer, so just being able to compete with him for the championship in that was really freaking sweet. It's just a shame that the race itself turned into a kind of a messy wreckfest, and Dale Reynolds kind of was pulling a Austin Dillon in Xfinity Series 2013 style, where I think I had like 2 wins, or maybe 3, maybe it was 2. Because I remember it was Bristol and Phoenix, maybe there was somewhere else. Oh yeah, Bristol. Yeah, that was a race where Dale was going to win it. Then a caution came out, and it messed up his race, which sucked. I felt bad for him because he definitely had the car to win. He was going to get his first win of the year, and then it was basically a battle between me and Ed near the end, which was really cool because I liked racing with Ed because he was one of those people that I trusted racing around. He was just always like, just really, still to this day, I still really consider him a good friend of mine. And he's done so much for me and my family and everything. Like, I owe him probably like a limb or something of mine. I don't know. It was always fun racing. I remember Homestead was another really good battle between me and Ed. But that was the race where I remember people memed on it because Blue Jimmy was like voice cracking and like screaming at the finish. And it took like this really awesome battle for the win and made it look goofy. So he was just screaming and voice cracking, and it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. So there's a couple of things here and there I remember. I do remember like the battle for the championship between me and Dale. It basically came down almost Alan Kowicki style, which was fitting because we both loved that driver a ton. It basically came down to who led more laps, and because there was so much, like, I led a lot of the race, I think, I remember. I led a good chunk of the race, or something like that. And Dale won it because there was, like, 5 or something odd overtimes. And because of those extra laps led, it gave him that extra point to win the championship. Because if it was a tiebreaker, then I would have gotten it because I had more wins than him. So, it came down to that, which was insane. And it was one of those things where I fucking wished the game just had something like where NASCAR 15 and 14 had, where after the race, it has like a little online section, and it shows your race results, it shows like the laps led and where people finished. Like, that was great. Why they couldn't have that in Heat 3, a game that was apparently meant for they were trying to go for esports, but it was a joke. but they didn't have a feature where it just counts the laps led. Like, that made everything harder because we had to do everything by fucking hand like it's 1992. 1992 was different because electronic scoring didn't... Well, I think that was just starting to happen, but I guess electronic points were different? God, I can't remember, but you would think in 30 years, or 26 years at that time, or 27, you think it'd be like, hey, we can have fucking a stat where we can show the laps led, so we don't have to tally them up like a bunch of barbarians. So that was like tedious and time consuming just to do all that because the point situation was just that close. So, you know, season 1 concluded. It wasn't amazing or god tier by any stretch of the imagination, but it was fun to drive. It was fun to participate, and it was, I don't know, it was nice. Season 2 though, season 2 gets pretty fucking wild. So now we're on Heat 4, and the game is way better than Heat 3 in terms of the physics. Like, you know, ping pong didn't happen anymore. The cars feel more planted in the ground. Just overall felt so much better to drive. So we do Daytona. Kind of a typical Daytona race at the end where it just gets very shit show and wrecky. But Cody H Gaming won it, which was pretty freaking badass because he was part of the Shrimp gang at the time. Well, he still is, but it was cool because we were in the chat with him, so I was really happy for him. Because he always had some kind of misfortune or bad luck in the season 1 races, so I was really happy to see him win that. One thing I do remember was at Watkins Glen, Darian did really weird things on track. He did a lot of stupid things on track. I remember at Watkins Glen, Sloppy Joe was leading it on the white flag. Darian was a lap down, and Darian just ARCA brakes into him. It's like, how do you do that? How do you, like... I don't understand. Like, even if it's an age thing. I mean, when I was his age, probably racing in, like, Newark, I didn't do, you know, shit like that to lap down cars. Like, I had the spatial awareness to do it. Just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, like, that 1 in a million, like, average to decent racer that understood, like, hey, you know, don't do stupid... Oh, that's a right rear damage. That is kind of stupid shit right there. But, hey, when you're a lap down, don't just ARCA brake it into, like, the second to last corner and knock Sloppy Joe off track. It's like, that was bad. That was bad. He always did, like, really weird stuff on track where it's like, what was he thinking type of moments. Shrimp. Oh, God, that's awesome. But, yeah, just things like that. So, there's just a couple of things I remember from, like, Season 1 and... Season 2, though, well, since it happened more recently, it's a bit more fresher in my mind. So Daytona went through, and it went pretty well, like, all things considered. Season 2 would definitely, then, at some point in the season, I don't know at what point, I don't know if it was, like, race 3 or 4, it was after the Michigan race, which, I don't know what race in the season that was. But it was after the Michigan race. All of a sudden, kind of on a whim, out of nowhere, Darian and no, was this before? Oh, no, because I think Canadian Tire happened before that. So at Canadian Tire, this is where I get into my rant. And this is where I get into something that actually really fucking pisses me off. To this day, I don't think it'll ever not be something that will upset me. So at Canadian Tire, it's kind of a typical road course race. I really wasn't much of a factor. I kind of got screwed on Piro because of the game's weird pitting where it never ghosted the cars when you went down pit road. So if you get stuck behind someone or if another car comes out and you're coming in, like, it just kind of... The AI basically wrecks you. And it happened to me, like, I think, twice in that race or something. And it ruined my race because it happened with the Mercedes. Like, it's one thing if this is like real life and you have control of the car and then something like that happens, so it's like, okay, well then that's on you. But when the game controls the car for you, you have no say or anything in what it does, so you're at the mercy of the game, and to get boned by the game from that is awful. It happened to multiple pro drivers as well. I remember that happening pretty vividly in the pro league. So I don't know why they let that in. It was just bad. But it put me out of the race from that. And it was really just a battle between Drive-Thru and Sloppy Joe. But the biggest highlight of the race was IDK Player basically taking the league so not seriously to the point where he's hitting the Canadian Tire jump, flying through the air, and doing a bunch of dances and a bunch of goofy shit, making it into a comedy act. He's on the track, being in the way, got wrecked. I don't know if it's the game's fault, but basically he was just in the way, goofing off the whole time. And he doesn't, like, he refuses to apologize for that. And that's where it crosses the line between, you know, league racing and then just acting like a child. And then that was the biggest problem, because he took it so not seriously. Like, you don't do that fucking shit in a league race. You don't go into a league race, hit the Canadian Tire jump, and then get in people's way, and then act like you were the victim in those incidences where, like, he was a lap down and he was, like, getting in Sloppy Joe's way, and then he said Sloppy got into me. It's like, and then Darian, like, the admin, is, like, on a phone call talking to his girlfriend while doing a league race. Like, what is that shit? Like, it's one thing to, you know, have a league that's, like, chilled, laid back, but there's gotta be, like, an attempt of taking it somewhat seriously. You know, have both fucking hands on the controller playing the game. IDK Player was literally, actually, he got into me on track when he was leaving Puro because he was picking his fucking nose. He's going like this and other shit, and then as he ran into me, it was just like no attempt to like race anyone with respect or even like race responsibly. So that shit still pisses me off. He still refuses to apologize on that and like even admit that what he did was wrong. It's been fucking years and he's still. This is why I don't respect him. That's fucking why. Because he you know, he could say as much as he wants that, oh, I'm boring, and it, you know, it's maybe fucking true. I'm fine with. I'll. That was gonna happen eventually. Sal was getting too pissed off, but that's not gonna stop my rant. The universe will not stop me from ranting about this topic. We're gonna pit anyways because we were right at our pit window anyways. But I'm gonna keep ranting. So that was a weird set of like contact right now. Whatever. That's why. That's fucking why I told he can say as much as he wants because I think it happened in a merch chat where it's like, I was just talking about like stupid league racing shit that people did in the past, and I was saying like I can go on about how, you know, how stupid he was on track, and then he came in chat and said, I can go on about how boring you are, and it's like, it's fair. I still got my fucking credibility where, at least when I was racing people on track, I was not just running people over. Instead of like actually debating me on like the ethics of league racing or even in anything, he just goes to an insult. In an argument, like, or even in a debate, when you resort to just name calling, you've already lost. So he didn't even have anything to counter. He just said, "Oh, I'm boring," and then that was it. It's just like, wow. It just, I don't know. Like, you'll really, when you race with people in a league race, you kind of almost learn about how they are as a fucking person. It's kind of insane. But this is kind of how it was in Newark. Like, a lot of the good drivers and the people that raced clean, like, were pretty decent people for the most part. And you get an IDK player who just does stupid shit on track, doesn't take responsibility for being an idiot on track, even years after the fact. Age has nothing to do with it because, you know, when I was his age doing league racing, I wasn't doing shit like that. So it's just more of it. Like, it was literally on the level of a child. And I have a good example of this, or a good reference. So when I was bowling, I might have been like 10 years or 11 or 12 years old at this point. There was somebody on my team that was maybe 8 or 7 that when they were bowling were like hiding. They were like in the bathroom, like not taking it seriously at all, not even being there on the like on the alley or at the table, just walking around, wandering around, and the parent always had to go and find them. That was basically what IDK player was in a league racing sense. Literally of that of a child to not take the league racing seriously enough to race on track, even be remotely competitive, not even competitive, but to be aware of your surroundings, or just not fucking just bouncing off walls and flying the Canadian Tire jump. It's embarrassing. And I don't know who to this day can sit here and defend that as, like, why are you here then? It's not funny. It's not cute. And then, I think then, this was like years later, but after that stream where he came into the Moods chat and said, "Oh, I'm boring." Then after that, I don't know what the context was. I don't know if he told his fan. I speculate, so I could be wrong. But then after that, then his fans went to my latest tweet, which was like one of like updating like the Robin video or something, and then they just said ratio, and ratio a tweet that it's one of the saddest fucking displays of ratio I maybe have ever seen, because it was like a tweet that had like 3 likes. They went to ratio, and it's like, well, congratulations, you fucking ratioed a tweet that had 3 likes. Are you fucking proud of yourself? Is that like really, like, that's just childish dumb shit. Did he tell people to do it? I don't know. Is his family like, it's bad on either end, because it's either he told them to do it and it's awful and stupid to do, or his fan base is just that dumb where he just tells them to do it. It's like, why? That gets into another tangent and rant where he's so against people trolling and shit, but then like he trolls in fucking people's lobbies and he 5 and enabled it and shit. And I remember Dustin McGee, he like recorded like a scenario where they like IDK and Darian were like trolling him online and just wrecking him all the time. It's like, what kind of what is that? Like, I don't like, that is just a weird scenario. And then, you know, it's just like, how can you sit here and like defend online racing and trolls when you've enabled trolls in Heat 5 lobbies, and it like enabled people doing shitty things, and just like, it's just ridiculous. That goes like, I don't know. And that's why I have no interest in this game, because I'm not gonna take the time, even if it's fucking free, to sit there and play his game, even if it's good. That might be stubbornness, that might be bitterness. But if you just apologize or just say, like, you know, hey, you know, I was stupid back then, I was wrong. Because people can change. I'm fine with that. I like Kurt. Kurt changed. I can forgive. But we're not even at the part where he accepts, like, he even admits there's a problem. Like, we're not even at the first step. So, whatever. But then again, he's successful. Things worked out for him. So maybe I'm in the... Well, I can't say I'm the wrong, but... You know, things worked out for him. Things are way better for me than it'll ever be. So that's like a whole rant on its own. Just that mentality. And it's been fucking almost 3 goddamn years. And I'm still not gonna... there's never gonna be an instance in my life where I'm gonna say, oh yeah, doing that in a league race is fine. Like, if I were to set up a league race and somebody in my, like, Heat 5 lobby just starts just going slow on the track, just being in the way, hitting like the jump, or trying to just being in the way, not because they're slow, but because they're not trying. And then I see on their stream, from what Drive-Thru was showing, like, he's like making it into like a comedy act, like every shot, like Drive-Thru is going through, like, he's in like one position, then he's in another position, like he's going back and bouncing back and forth, like he's making it into like a comedy act. And it's like, when you're league racing, it's just the whole ethic of racing and the ethic of just league racing is so wrong. It's just embarrassing. So that's just awful in and of itself. He never came back to the Corps ever since, and fucking good. But then we get into the other thing, where after Michigan, Darian and Iceberg just left with no warning, no like saying like, hey, we don't want to be admins anymore. We're done. No, just after the race, they were out, which means that those two probably talked about off camera or off stream or just privately or something, saying, oh yeah, we're gonna be done with this. Didn't warn us, didn't tell any, like, it literally put me in a horrible spot. It put Drive-Thru basically had to come up and become an admin after that, and it just left everybody in a really bad spot. So that was just shitty to do without like letting people know. And it's just, you can't defend that. It's just, you gotta let people know if you're not coming back. It's like on the same level, not on the same level, but it's in the same spirit of like Edwards just retiring off season, not letting people know, just kind of blindsiding everyone. Even if it's for good reason or not, you gotta let the other admins know, or just give them fucking time. Because doing it right after the race, only giving us like 6 days to even scramble for shit. It's like, it was just like setting the series that they created. They just like wanted to destroy. After that, that's the way it came off. Especially, this is why, I mean, despite I enjoy his videos, at least until he actually apologizes or actually admits that there was a problem, or he fucked up. This is why, in terms of a person, I cannot really appreciate Iceberg, because he was our stat man. He always kept track of the stats. He was always really good at that. I had no problem with that. Season 1, he was fine. He did a great job. Then Season 2, when he left, not only did he leave, but he scrapped the stats. Like, he threw them away. So even with the next person coming in to take his place, he just scrapped them. So we all had to fucking do it from scratch from that season and redo everything. That was a fucking nightmare. And a tedious pain in the fucking ass to do. And that was such a dirtbag, scumbag tactic. It was basically him sabotaging the league that he created, and it was just really shitty to do. That's like, that's like, I guess in a video game industry perspective, like one employee was working on something for a game. Then they left that job, somebody else takes their spot. But before that person gets in that spot, the previous employee, or the previous developer, goes into their like area of like what they were doing with the game and just literally erases all the coding, all their like stuff. So when the new person comes in, they have to start over. Like, that's shitty. That is absolutely awful to do. So that was just atrocious. It was just absolutely atrocious that he did that. Didn't apologize. Nothing. Just, and that's why, and this is the shit, this is where it's like you learn a lot about people. Darian was a lot more, definitely less on the list of like awful, dumb shit. Like, he did dumb things on track, but it seemed like he had good intentions. So I'm not going to go too hard on Darian, because Darian's, I don't think he's nearly as offensive in this case, because he just wanted to leave. Which is still, I still wish he'd said something, but Iceberg just scrapping the stats and everything. Another thing too, he mentioned it in one of his videos, but I don't know if it's just a flat out lie or I'm misremembering. But he was mentioning something that, because in one of his videos when he was talking about Kurt Busch retiring, because I had to watch it, I was curious what he had to say. And it was fine video. This is what I mean, like, his videos are fine, but this is one of those cases where, behind the mask, you get to learn a lot about people. That's why it's always, especially with Joseph and N2SC4, people, behind that mask, there was some problems apparently. But yeah, but in his Kurt Busch video, he mentioned that he got in a go-karting accident when he was 9. I don't know if that was just a misread on his script part, and he got a concussion. Like, that I was already aware with, because I remember in 2019 when they went to Homestead that occurred. He actually got some kind of concussion. I think Joseph caused it for wrecking him. I don't remember the whole story, but it definitely messed him up. I think since then, his mind is all, something's not right, because like no conscious person would do something like that for the stats. But then again, a lot of conscious people do crazy shit, so I don't know if that's even an excuse, but there was an instance where, might have been the Michigan race, might have been Daytona even, I can't remember, but I remember he was in our chat, and he was just like randomly angry, like at stuff, like he was just getting really pissed off, and it was really awkward because everybody else in the chat, in our voice chat, was really chill.
That's the lap time I'm looking for. Keep it up, buddy.
And like he was like the only one I was like really getting pissed off, and it was just kind of this weird vibe. And it was just like it was like angry in a sense I'd never seen from him before. It was just weird. It was just really bizarre, which I feel like that could be attributed to the concussion or some other different thing. I'm not really sure. But it was interesting just how he was acting. In Michigan, he got mad at someone because he pulled up onto the racing surface and someone hit him. He was mad at that person for running into him, which made no sense. This is what I mean, where I think, like, okay, something consciously went wrong, or like his common sense somewhere got messed up, because for someone that's so extremely stat heavy and generally has good takes, gets out on track at Michigan, gets out of pit road, comes back out on track, somebody hits him, and then they blame him for it. It's like, but you literally LePaged like a person. It's like, that doesn't, it's one thing if you're pissed off, but more at yourself. But he was pissed at someone else for, it was just weird things like that. So yeah, it was just bizarre. But I remember in that video, like, I don't know if he just like misread his script or what, but it was weird that he mentioned he got something when he was 9. But it's like, no, that's not really the truth, because it actually happened a couple years ago. This isn't, unless it's like a half truth where it's like, okay, he did actually have one when he was younger, but he didn't mention the other one that happened, recently, 2019. So I don't know. It's just weird. It could be a scripting error, could be a half lie, half truth sort of situation. But yeah, there was just some bizarre things, and that's what I mean. Like, you really seem to learn a lot about a person just by racing them on track. And for the most part, Cody H Gaming, Ed, me, Winvow, Dale Reynolds, all were really fun and easy to race with. I had no problems. They were great. Drive through, another good example. All really good to race with. Sloppy Joe to an extent, to some extent. There was some funny stuff that happened with him, but for the most part, yeah, everybody's pretty good. I never really had any like run-ins from people. I don't really remember even causing any issues. So I don't know, but that's why I keep harping on that point a lot, but you do learn a lot about a person just by racing them. And like how the race ethic works, how they defend themselves, how they carry themselves in a chat, like how they handle like a situation. And yeah, at least back in those times, yeah, it was pretty I don't know, I would say toxic. I don't think that's the right word, but yeah. Didn't know there was turmoil on core behind the scenes. That was all intent purposes collapsed because of the move from. Well, they did want to go to. Well, after season 2, then they decided to go to iRacing because, well, He 5 came out, wasn't really any better. It was just a copy and paste. And to be honest, we were just kind of fed up with the online, how that was running. Just because of the net code and people seeing different things on their screen, like different things, like weird like issues like that, which made online racing in terms of like a series league setting just really difficult to do. so then they made the switch to iRacing, and basically after that first season of iRacing, then they never really came back after the first season, because it wasn't really fun, and it kind of lost its purpose, because the original intent for Core was all the YouTube people racing together, which I think was a really cool concept, but then once we got to iRacing, that kind of thinned out, and by the second season of iRacing, it really wasn't like that anymore, which is why Core is not coming back. Core is basically dead. I mean, that's what from what Drive-Thru was telling me, so unless NASCAR 23 actually has a proper online where things work, maybe it'll come back, but I highly doubt it. So at the moment it's dead, but it could potentially come back. So I don't know. But yeah, it was just a whole bunch of different stuff. Really, my three biggest things I remember is just the IDK player shit at the Canadian Tire. I mean, like, all that stuff that led up to that. Jared and Darian just leaving without warning. Iceberg throwing away the stats. Like, just a lot of different weird stuff. I don't know. It's been years, so, you know, there's always a chance for them to, you know, be better or understand that, hey, what I did back then was wrong. And I just wish they apologized. That's all. I just hope one day they apologize, but I mean, it's been 2.5 years and still nothing, so. Then again, I blocked IDK player on Twitter, so I think that's the only person I've ever blocked on Twitter. So. The rest I'm fine with, you know. I don't have them blocked, but it's just, yeah, it was just, I don't know, it's just a whole bunch of different stuff. So that's the story, Spencer Boyce. If you're even still here, there was a lot to talk about. That took up like half the race, so I'm kind of proud of myself on that front. Trying to think if there's other like funny stories to talk about from that time period. I remember Michigan. I think I live streamed it. I think I was in the. Oh yeah, I remember after the first Michigan race. Everybody was really. This is like. It was cracking up. But after the first Michigan race, where like everything went so badly, everybody went to the Discord chat. Everybody was like talking and ranting. I'm just sitting there with like this shit-eating grin, eating chips. It was the funniest shit. Might be my favorite comedy moment that I've ever done on the spot. Like, in terms of like a live stream on the spot, that was like peak god tier. Like, I was proud of myself. Because everybody's salty, everybody's so angry, and I'm just sitting here eating chips. It's like, it was really fun. I still crack up about thinking of that. That was good times. Well, that's good to hear that he's much more mature. I think the next step he needs to take, and it's a take that, you know, no one wants. No one wants to, you know, admit to their wrongdoings, their past. No one's perfect, but I would love it, because if he's seemingly changed and more mature, then I hope he can DM me and apologize. Maybe I'll unblock him. Maybe I'll unblock him to give him that chance. Maybe he wanted to for some time and I've had him. I don't know. I'll unblock him and I'll see what happens. That's all. That's all I want. I'm not gonna sit here and like. Well, Jim. Oh, maybe we could go on a rant about Jimmy Spencer having a 20-year grudge with Kurt on that Dale Jr. download, which was the saddest shit I've ever seen. It could be one thing if Kurt was still the same like asshole that he was back in like 2002 and 3 and whatnot, and Spencer still being salty. Like that's one thing. But it's another when Kurt literally has changed so much as a person that he's almost unrecognizable to what he used to be before. And still being pissed about that and salty, and when Spencer fucking started it. Kurt was so innocent in that situation. The worst Kurt did was just bump and ran him. Was it out of line? A little. But he didn't just obliterate him like he did at fucking Indianapolis, where he just right hooked him into a fucking outside wall that I don't think had safer barriers, but it was still just, you know, you don't right hook someone going like, you know, 200 fucking miles an hour to a corner. That's just disgusting. So yeah, Spencer was more the problem in that instance. But then Spencer and Dale Jr. Downs still like really pissed off and like salty about it. It's like, god damn. That's maybe the saddest thing I've ever seen. I don't know if I've ever seen, but it's definitely gotta be within the top 25 saddest things I've ever seen from a NASCAR beef. And that's one of the cases where, yeah, Kurt was right. Spencer is a decrepit old has-been. Kurt is like 10 times the driver, or 30 times the driver that Spencer was in almost all statistical categories. And I'm gonna... Kurt was right, even though it was fucked up to say at the time. Kurt ended up being right in the long haul. Welcome to What If Rants. Yeah. Yeah, it happens a lot, it seems like. That's all. That's all I would ever want, is just an apology. From Darian, Iceberg, and IDK. That's all. That's all. I would be fine with that. Admit to the problem, be like, hey, you know, I was... And I definitely don't want it to be like just one sentence. I want it to be like meaningful, and like it needs to show that there was like effort put into the apology. But yeah, I can forgive and forget. It's okay. I mean, I like Kurt. That's the biggest redemption story of all time. So based on that alone, I think that kind of shows I can forgive and forget. You know, I'm a very understanding and forgiving person, so I can give that benefit. Oh man, as far as this race is concerned, thank God I had something to talk about, because nothing has happened other than that one wreck where I caused the yellow. It's just too many lap cars, and the car got sideways at basically the perfect time. But I had such a lead that it didn't even affect me. I was still able to get the lead, pit, and still get back out first, so there's really no problems there. I've been ranting for so much, like I kind of forgot who's even in the top 5. So it is Junior, Stewart, Harvick, and Mark. Okay. So Stewart once again having a very good run, and I'm not really gaining a whole lot of points on him, so that's unfortunate. what I'm gonna do after the stream. Maybe I'll do some Heat 5 stuff so I can practice for Michigan for the Sunday race. That's what I'm gonna do, just to see how long it takes to do the race and finish that up. Just out of curiosity. I think I'll start the stream at 11:30 like I usually been doing for those. But I mean, from what I do in Heat 5 with like at 100% races, it doesn't even take me. It always takes me under 3 hours to complete a race, which is interesting. But I think with the stages and the game skipping through cautions, like it definitely speeds up that process by probably a half hour. So, yeah, that's nice. Ugh. What games are we going to see next after World of Outlaws? I think at this rate, with how the series is going, I think it's going to wrap up by part 24. Or maybe 25, I'm not positive, but it'll, there's nothing really going to be replacing that for the time being, because it's going to wrap up sometime this month, so I'll have about a month of time between that and the new game just to relax, and also to get more time in to start doing my Xfinity Leech series video, which I've already finished up the scripting and the sound editing, so now I just got to put like clips over it, and then after that, then I'll find some background music or something for it.
Number 27, now left. Still beside you.
So, at least for that month, there won't be anything that's going to fill that void. Though I do got other things working on too, that maybe I'll put up at some point during those like weeks where there isn't World of Outlaws stuff, like where it used to be. I am working on the NASCAR 8 like best of moments, and I do want to upload it kind of in parts where it's like part 1 is the where part 1 is basically like the modified truck series, then the next one will be like just the Busch series, and the last one will be Cup. Kind of like what I've done in the past with the NASCAR 07. So I do have that in the works. So I'm just like gathering up all the old the episodes and just editing them, and that might be like the hardest thing I've ever had to do, is because like I especially when it's my own videos, it's hard for me to see like what I find funny in myself to use as a compilation bit. So that stuff is like always the hardest to edit, because I don't know. Yeah, we're pitting this lap because we were actually very low on fuel. Car is actually finally starting to get really bad. Yeah, I'm gonna pit. Well, we're gonna just make it on fuel. Nope, now we're out. Well, we got like a 7-second lead, so I think we'll be fine with this, even with all that stuff happening. Alright, well, I don't know. This will definitely... Well, we're lucky we ran out of fuel at that time. That was perfect. I've seen nearly all the playthroughs, so maybe next time I'll stamp. Not a bad idea. I would appreciate that. Though I think for me, okay, let's see what the stop is. 15? 6, okay. I'll take it. What I need to do when I get to NASCAR 9 is make sure I save every episode, save it on my hard drive. So I did just recently get a hard drive a couple months ago, maybe like a month ago. And save them on like a file on the hard drive, and as like each part is coming out, do like a super cut where it's like, okay, this is the funniest moments of like part 12, and then I'll do like the funniest one for like start editing like the best of while I'm doing the series. That'll probably be a lot easier to do, so it'll be a lot like some random things will be more fresher in my mind. I think that's the way to do it. I think that's how the game grow like fans have done of like I for a long time I've seen like Game Grumps compilations, and I remember seeing stuff in the comments like, how did people upload this so fast? The series just ended, and then there was some comments theorizing like, you know, what the outcome was, and they were saying like they were probably editing it as it was coming out, so they already had it like almost done. It's like, oh man, that probably makes the most sense. I was like, that's a really good idea. So I need to do that when I get to NASCAR 09. But when I get to that series, that's going to be next year, because I do want to do that in like the month of May, where the game will be 15 years old by that point. So it'll be like a 15th anniversary stream, or not stream, but series. So that'll be kind of fun to do on the PS2. Just like the timing of it, and also give me a long enough time between NASCAR and 09, almost a year, maybe like 9 months, 8 months, but definitely a good long gap between the two. Yeah, it depends, because I'm definitely gonna play the NASCAR Ignition like 22 update, just because I feel like I kind of have to do like a career mode of that. Probably try to get through as much as I can that series, because I imagine it's not going to be any different. There's still dumb tracks that are broken where, like Nashville, if you have it on the hardest difficulty, you just run last. Even if you pit after each stage, you really don't make any progress. Like, your car is slightly better in the last stage because you pitted and you have like 50 lap or 30 lap fresher tires compared to everyone else. So you are a little bit more competitive, but the fact that it has to get to that point before anything interesting happens is boring. And the fact you still have to adjust the difficulty every track is just tedious. So I'm sure it'll be kind of just a meme series again where, you know, I'll get through multiple races apart. Just because, you know, there's not a whole lot to go through. How long do my sponsors last in this car? I think it's for the rest of the season, I think that's the case. I'll have to check after the race, but I'm pretty sure it's for the rest of the season. We cycle back out into lead, 5.5 over Dale Jr., so pretty good on that front. Tony Stewart's in third. So you do got a couple of different things to look forward to, or at least things I got like in the mind planned. Like, hopefully, when the Xfinity Elite Series video comes out, you know, people will really like that and want to see more, so I can continue it. Because I have basically like all the seasons done. I just have to, you know, put them into a script and do them that way. But it is fun to kind of look at it from a perspective of like, you know, what if, you know, Cup drivers run the series. You know, how many, you know, how would the regulars fare out? Like, how many more wins would they have had? So the biggest ones, I won't spoil it, but the biggest ones that were shocking were Jason Leffler and Elliott Sadler. They probably have gotten cut out of Cup wins, or, you know, Busch Series wins, the most out of any driver. That and Allgaier. It is absolutely astonishing when you look at it with that, like, with that lens. You vlog any IRL stuff again? Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, I haven't done an IRLs like vlog in a long time. I guess I can always try those again. I haven't just I don't know. I always feel weird doing them. So I guess I'm just not used to it, but I usually kind of keep my normal life kind of privated to a sense. But yeah, that would that's not a bad idea. I just gotta think of like what to possibly do, because like my day-to-day life isn't very interesting. Maybe when I get to like 15,000 subscribers, which are like 280 away or 290 away, maybe I'll do a 15K subscriber day in the life special or something. That would be kind of fun. I don't know, just something. But then again, who knows how long it'll take to get to that milestone, so I don't know if that's a bad or good thing. But well, 24 laps to go. Still in the lead. Dale Jr.'s second. I think we're pulling away again. Car feels fine, though, as you saw at the end of that previous run, it got pretty bad right at the end. Otherwise, 98% of the run is pretty perfect, so don't know. Well, the primary sponsors, which is your favorite? I've always liked the 3. I very rarely ever use the primary sponsors in like the Thunder 03 and 04 days, so I don't really remember like all the different ones. But I do know in Thunder 04 it seemed like you can really race as any car in the for like primary if they retire and they don't have anyone to fill in the spot. So I do kind of like that, to be honest. Thunder 03, I don't really remember, but the 3 Nabisco one, pretty good looking car, so that might be my favorite too.
That was a great lap, buddy. Number 10 is passing high. All clear, buddy.
Hey, hello Dale, thank you for stopping by in the stream. I appreciate that. Better late than never. Yeah, well, you know what? At least you're watching me at Pocono. That's a home track of yours. I'm kicking the field's ass. I'm wearing this pit crew uniform because Ball So Hard Will was in the stream for a bit, and he wanted to see me wear it, so I put it on before the start of the race, which is pretty freaking sweet. Also, I am using your Pocono setup here. It's freaking amazing. It is absolutely amazing. There was the one stream where you came in and you were telling me to use a different set. It might have been Dover, but I remember using that. I loved it to death. Was it Martinsville? No, it was Bristol. It was Bristol. Yeah, I remember that, and I like obliterated the field, and I was just like so confused because I didn't expect the car to be that good.
51, 18. Good lap. Keep hitting those marks. 20 more.
Imagine being Elliott Sadler and blocking a lap car like that. What an absolute chud. Not even a Chad, a chud. The opposite of a Chad. And an opposite of a chub. It's the limp dick version of a Chad. I don't. I don't know. Do you like it when the light's on? That's a question I made in my community poll. It seemed like more people liked it when it was off. But I don't know. It makes me wonder. Because do people like it when it's off? Because I don't know, like, at least for right now. It looks pretty good. It's not awful. So I don't know. Also, Day 500, where is he? He's usually in the chat a bit more, so I'm hoping he's doing all right. Or is he, like, lurking in the darkness? He always tends to do that. It scares me. I love all the Nico Robbins on your shelf. Well, I guess I have to thank whoever did that. Whoever got me all those figures. Because, Jesus, so many.
Keep running that line. That lap was fast. Number 19, top out. Clear on both sides.
But, of course I had to I put them up somewhere.
The 19 car is gaining on you.
I have one of them on my actual computer desk, like right beside me, so I love it. It's glorious. He'll call it Reverse Priest. Ooh. You also have a Nami figure. Ooh, even more interesting.
51D. That one was quick. Let's do it again.
They give What If the Chud. There's like maybe 2 figures I want, but I really don't want to be like spending that type of money on that. Is there's like one Yamato figure and one Ulti one that I really like to have at some point. And I think that's it. It's really the only 2 I could think of that I would like, really want to get. But I was trying to find, like, I was looking up on the website that they usually sell them. I wanted the 9-inch tall ones, and they only had like the 6-inch version. I was like, well, I would like to get the 9-inch one because I like to put it on my bookshelf behind me because I have like Nami and Robin and Carrot over there, and I want to have like all of my top 5 girls like on that list or on that like shelf. So it's like Robin, Nami, then Boa, which I do have one from Christmas years ago. Then Carrot, and then Yamato. Like that would be like my top 5. I would love to do that. At some point someday, but
Great lap, great lap. Your right front tire's wearing down. Try another line or you won't last.
so I actually I did get a figure a couple weeks ago, but this was one that like, I pre-ordered from like last August or last July.
Clear.
So this was like,
The 4 car, top out.
yeah, so it came in a couple weeks ago,
Number 4 is still there.
and I was just like, oh yeah, that's right. I ordered this last year,
Okay.
and it finally came in. Thank God Past Me only got like a $26 version of it, not like a crazy like 100 plus or whatever, because when I get to a certain price range, I can't justify buying it. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. Phantom, I guess you could DM me on Twitter, and I guess send me the picture of the one you're talking about, because maybe I have it? I don't know. It'll be good to know
67.
what'll be coming here. I don't want you to be sending something that I already have. But yeah, I'm always up for that as long as something I don't have, I guess. So what have we had? Like 1 yellow for maybe 3 laps?
The 16 car is up high. Number 6.
Kind of curious how many cars we lapped up to at this point, because
All clear, buddy.
that yellow happened 50 laps ago. So I don't know how many people are going to lap before the end of the race, but it's definitely not going to be like New Hampshire, that's for sure.
51, 15.
To be fair, Dale Jr. has been keeping up with me somewhat. I mean, he's under 10 seconds back, which is still quite a pretty big margin. Buy Sailor Moon figures. I have no idea how those are, like if they're rare or if they're like or not, or I don't know anything about that side of it. But custom fan arts is a good backup, that's for sure. Well, looks like Stewart's going to get third. Mark's going to get a top 5 finish, which, again, I'm always up for. Yeah, there's like a 20-second gap, so we are almost half a lap ahead of 5th, maybe?
Right rear's getting warm. Take it easy out there.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Those 4 Robin figures I sent a while ago, and that one package I spent on. Oh my god. Damn. Well, holy shit. Thank you. Well, that's insane. Well, thank you so much for that. Damn, I didn't know you spent that much on it for me. That's... I was so enamored with that fact, I just hit the wall.
52, 65.
I believe it because that, I mean, it was a freaking massive box.
10 laps to go.
I hit the... I hit the... Oh, okay. Well, I guess that helps break it down.
Front tire.
So I thought you meant like 150 on shipping. I'm like, holy shit. Okay, that kind of breaks it down a little more. Yeah, we lost a couple seconds to Dale Jr. because we hit the wall, so my oopsie doodles on that regard. Kind of curious where Kurt's run because I mean he got 10th at the previous race. I like to think he'll do a little bit better here, but I don't even know where he's at. I know he started like 14th, I think, so who knows where he's running. I haven't lapped him yet, so I guess that's a good thing.
Got one outside. Clear all around.
It's better than paying 50 apiece per. That is true. That is true. That is a pretty good deal for getting 4 of them for that price. Then. That no, it's not bad. That's pretty good actually.
You're flying out there, buddy. Good job. Car high. Okay, we're clear.
This race feels like it takes forever.
The 41 car is up high. Number 41.
We're almost done.
Clear on both sides.
I think it helps too that you got those figures that are like alternate outfit versions of them. So I think that helps too. That probably explains why it wasn't like astronomically high in terms of the pricing. So it was like alternate outfits and stuff. At least that would, I guess that would explain it. Kurt is P9. That would be really nice if Kurt's 9th. That'd be really nice. I could just look at the racers, you know, the race stats and kind of see for myself. But I like that suspense of maybe seeing it. Well, okay, let's be fair. I'm probably not going to see it at the finishing results like screen because I have too big of a lead. But there is that. There's always that suspense. Gotta admire Jack Sprague just blocking me into the fucking grass.
Still there. Okay, we're clear. Take a look at the fuel gauge.
Oh boy, a couple laps left to go. Shockingly, our gap to the junior is only 6.6, so it stayed within the 6-second range for quite a while. So this kind of tell me it's almost the opposite of New Hampshire, where the short run and medium runs are pretty good, but once we get to like 80% through our fuel run, then we kind of even out, and I can't really gain any more time on them. So that's interesting, but kind of expect that going into this race.
Number 17 is outside. The 17 car is coming up quick. Still beside you. Clear.
Anything crazy happen? I ranted a lot. I ranted for a good like 60 laps, so that helped kill a lot of this race time because nothing much happened other than me spinning out 30 something odd laps into the run. But I had such a lead that it didn't even matter because I didn't even lose a spot. So I think I'm pretty good in that regard. And now we're just kind of talking about other random things, so it's kind of gotten to that point where I'm just like exhausted of topics. I'm exhausted of playing this for pretty much doing a 100% race once you combine these two together, which I think is 400 miles with those two races combined. Well, I guess technically 350 miles. Because New Hampshire's 150 laps, 1 mile, so 150 miles. They had other Robin figures, but the face looked terrible on them compared to the ones they sent you. Well, good eye on that, because yeah, the one thing that always bugged me, this kind of goes to fan art and just like figures as well. They always have a hard time doing her face, and I don't know why. I guess it's Daedalus is actually closing in on me, so that's interesting, but I think it's just because I don't know, people don't know how to draw her nose, because her nose is pretty distinct. Like it has a unique bridge to it. And seems like most people don't know how to draw that properly. So, I don't know. I don't know why it's always really hard for people to do that. But fan art with her is very a mixed bag. Because some people can draw the nose right, some people can't. And then some people don't even try. And then it's just like, well, then it just that's kind of one of the neat features of her design is that her nose stands out. I don't know, people always rip on One Piece having generic designs, but you know, you have one design where it's distinct enough, and then you don't do it, so it's like, why? But well, we lost another couple of 10 Steel Juniors, so glad this race is wrapping up. But yeah, white flag time. The announcer's not even saying anything, so very weird. I think my crew chief was talking, so I think that's what. That usually doesn't happen. Usually the announcer always says something on the white when it hits the white flag, but I guess my crew chief kind of interrupted him. I think he'll probably say something in turn 3 like usual. But yeah, 1 to go. We got a good enough lead. Things are looking good. Yeah, there he is. But through 3 and I was about to say 4. Through 3 and not turn 4, we'll get another dub. Our 12th win of the season, I think. We're already close to breaking the modern era record. An hour and a half race. Dale Jr. was still closing in on me, so yeah, he was fast.
Very many caution laps in this one.
Well, I can assure you all those guys who finished in the back would like to have seen more cautions. Gives them a chance to make adjustments without the penalty of going a lap down. They just didn't have that luxury this time.
The MB&A car got the win with an impressive margin of victory.
He worked hard to build that cushion on his lead. It pays off when you cross the finish line all by yourself.
The 63 car got along well on the track with the 43 car.
Yeah, you know the golden rule. Well, it applies in NASCAR as well. You got to treat other drivers with respect in order to earn theirs.
Boy, has that line of dialogue aged horribly, because that doesn't seem like that's the case nowadays. It's so weird they mentioned Fittipaldi of all people, like, because I lapped him a lot? I don't know. But I don't know. But there's our car. It's weird that they were talking about the margin of victory, but they don't mention the margin of victory in New Hampshire, where I literally lapped the whole field. So I don't know. Interesting. That's another dub. Swept the stream. I don't know how many more races we're gonna have like this, where we're just gonna obliterate the field. I think we got Charlotte that's gonna be like that. I don't know, but I thank God we had stuff to talk about to kill time. It became a podcast essentially. There's our nice Pocono trophy. That's nice. That's a nice trophy. Dorito time in the city. Hell yeah. So another really good payday, 1.3 million. And we led Oh My Hot. 97 of the 100. The only 3 were because of Harvick. Because of like the pit cycle. It probably would have been like 3 other laps had the race went green the whole way, so I probably would have led like 94 of the 100, but that's still an insane amount. Mark gets 6th or 5th. Labonte 7th. Kurt, I'm gonna think, is slightly outside top 10. That's my prediction. I haven't even seen him, so I don't think I lapped him, so I don't know. 8th is Newman. 9th is Rusty. Marlin's 10th. Okay, well, Kurt's out of the top 10. I was thinking like top 15, so okay, Gordon's 11th. That's unexpected. Gordon's 11th. Ward Burton 12th. Jeff Burton 13th. Kurt 14th. He only gained 1 spot that whole that whole race. Wow. Burton jumped up a lot, but hey, I mean, Kurt just kind of basically stayed where he was. I didn't even lap him. He was actually the next car I was going to lap. Ooh, interesting. He was the last car in lead lap. So, yeah, I mean, I know I passed Kenseth a while ago. So, yeah, Kurt was way, way up there. Way further ahead of Kenseth. But we got 3 of the 4 Roush cars outside of top 10, and Mark is just leading the herds. That's funny. Anyone that blew up specifically? Terrell Labonte started 40th, got 21st. That's pretty good. Yeah, we got Dale Jarrett that blew up really early. Same with Nemechek. Same with Ricky Rudd, so that's a big oof on his day. But that's good because that gaps him further away from Kurt, so good for that. That was an hour-and-a-half race. Maybe 3 or 4 minutes could be cut down from like that caution. But that's still going to be pretty close to an hour-and-a-half just on... Compared to that New Hampshire, that's, 30-minute difference. That's, if that was a 100% race, that would be almost like an hour difference. That's nuts. But yeah, we're looking good in the point standings as usual. 208 over Tony Stewart. Dale Jr.'s dropped back a bit. But still in 3rd. Gordon 5th. Mark 6th. Jarrett tanked after that DNF. Newman's still 8th. Kurt is, I think, still 9th. I think he might have dropped a spot. And then, yeah, Kurt's still ahead of Kansas by a little bit, by 72 or 78. So he's still within the top 10. And Marlin's a little bit out. So, not too bad. That is our 12th win of the season, so we're very close to tying the modern era record. We already have more top 5s in this season than we did last year, and we're almost there to top 10s, but we're a little bit off of that. Average finish is way better. Yeah, that's so far we're kind of on a god tier streak, per se. So what's that? 12, 13, 14 wins, 15 wins. 18 wins. So yeah, that's going to be 19 wins in the top 10. And the other one went to Ken's. Well, actually, I don't know who got. Who got another win? I don't know, but yeah. As far as our sponsors, because I know somebody else mentioned that in the stream. Not this one. Not the team one. Looking right at it. Yeah, we got it for the rest of the season. Actually, a little bit beyond. Actually, no. Okay, never mind. Yeah, we only got it for 7 races, so... Yeah, we're going to be changing the sponsor in the next couple of weeks. So, there's that to look forward to. So, we'll be getting that, like, race 28 in the season, or something like that. So, yeah, everything will be upgraded then. So, never mind. I thought it was for the rest of the season, but I was wrong. So, yeah, with all that said, we're going to save our progress and wrap up the stream. As always, I really appreciate you guys, sticking around, watching all of this, and it means a lot, and it's always pretty badass. So, different paint scheme for the Brickyard. Maybe I could do like an inverse scheme or something. I don't know. I have to kind of think about it. But yeah, that's about it for me in the stream. I'm sorry, JC. I'm not doing an encore. I'm tired from doing all this today. But send you a picture of the other videos on Discord and after stream so you can see it. Okay, yeah. Well, go ahead and do that. So I'm curious. Yeah, as always, thank you to the people who did like super chats and donations throughout the stream. It was an extremely good turnout, more than I really expected. So we had the Broskis with the 5. Sprinter just dropped a 97 after the first race, which was absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, Sprinter, for doing that. Then we did, and then Broski's got 20. He sent 20, so thank you for that. JC with $1. Balsa Hardwood with the $4.99. JC with the 2 for the peanut muffin thing. Mark Harmon with the $4.99. Broski's again with the 5, and Shady Land with the $3.42. So I appreciate that a lot. It means it goes a long way. It's more than I can even articulate. So just thank you. So with all that said, next week we got the Brickyard and I think Watkins Glen. Yeah, so that could either go really good or really bad. So that'll be interesting just to see how that goes. I'd love to win the Brickyard because this is back when it still mattered or still had marquee. So yeah, either way, that'll do it for me in the stream. But yeah, I'll see you all next stream. I'll see you all later. And yeah, more videos. Well, a stream on Sunday and then back to normal videos for next week as well. And we'll be getting very close to wrapping up the World of Outlaw series, and then after that, NASCAR will be kind of nearing a little bit of its end. Well, we're kind of a bit of a ways from that, so that's not quite true, but yeah. Either way, like I said, I'll see you all